Talk shoes. Recorded live.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Müvment Boxing Podcast, where we always bring you the latest in boxing news, unfiltered, uncut, unbiased, just that raw data. You know how we do it. As usual, I'm joined by my usual co-host. I'm Twine the Divine Liberty of HoopJab.com, and today we are joined by Big Cool of Colossal Boxing Talk. What's good with you, fella?
Oh man, happy to be on another episode.
All right, and we got Bernard of the Truth and Facts About Boxing Talk. What's going on, man?
What's good? I've been bullied to stay on by the big bruh 2K, the prodigy. So I'll be on the whole show.
Oh man, he been bullied miles away apart, y'all.
Hey, see that's that real shit right there. That's what I try to tell y'all niggas, man. That's that alpha male shit. You can bully a nigga 10,000 miles away.
And, of course, we got 2K, the guru of egg recipes, and how to do a boxing. What's going on?
Man, I don't know, man. I was looking at this lineup, might be a wasted egg rage I'm going to have on this show, man. Ain't really got too much to get mad about, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to be aggressive on shit that I don't need to be aggressive on, just to use the shit. You know what I'm saying?
All right, when our boy Bo from Truth and Facts About Boxing, he couldn't be on with us today. He's expecting the birth of his first grandchild, so big up to him right now, man. If he can manage to make a minute to come on, big up to him. But definitely want to congratulate him on this, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to hold it down for you, man. With that said, man, let's go ahead and get this shit underway, man. Y'all ready?
Sure.
All right, so first topic we're going to get into is pretty much the undercard for the fight. You know, we don't want to mention those names of, the main event, but the undercard, is steady, got some solid matchups on it that I think we should touch on, you know what I'm saying? We had a pretty good one announced earlier or at the end of last week. The WBA finally cleared the way for Badou Jack versus Nathan Cleverly after some stipulations being involved as far as them having to agree to fight Dimitri Bivol. So let me get you guys' thoughts on this fight. I know we talked about it before, but it's actually coming to fruition now, and it's official. So, I mean, especially with the Bivol thing hanging in the balance, I want to get you guys' take on this fight now. I'll start off with 2K.
Yeah, man, we talked about this a little while ago on a different episode of the podcast, and we said, whenever Badou Jack drew with, what the fuck is his name? James DeGale. Whenever he drew with James DeGale and he, announced that he was going to be moving to 175, the first thing we all said pretty much in unison was that it would be a smart business move for Mayweather and a smart career move for Badou Jack to take on Nathan Cleverly for that WBA title because he's the weakest link at 175. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally like, Nathan Cleverly is on motherfucking the freshman team while everybody else is on varsity. That's how different the skill set is, you know what I'm saying, at 175 as it correlates to Cleverly. So this is what we said what happened. This is exactly what came to fruition. Now, the reason why it would be a good move both ways for Mayweather and Jack is because Badou Jack has everything that he needs to do in his skill set to beat Nathan Cleverly pretty easily. You know what I'm saying? Cleverly has always been a limited fighter. One of those guys that slipped through the cracks, ended up becoming a champion, very similar to Roman Martinez, you know what I'm saying, at 130. Very limited fighter, one-dimensional, only has one way of fighting. That's why, his fight with Jürgen Brähmer was not really a well-anticipated fight. Nobody gave a fuck about it, even though he won the title off that fight. Nobody really cared because Jürgen Brähmer himself was a limited, ducking-ass fighter. So with Nathan Cleverly, man, all he's going to do is pretty much going to be a come-forward guy, mid to high volume. He's not overly aggressive or anything like Denis Shafikov or anybody like that. But he's got a little high volume. He keeps himself wide open. He's going to be directly in front of Badou Jack. He doesn't have great defense, no head movement, no upper body movement. His footwork is whack, can't give angles, has no, lateral movement. Just moves backwards and forward, more so forward. Tries to turn every fight into a brawl, which was an excellent game plan against somebody as whack as Jürgen Brähmer. But when you get in the ring with a guy like Badou Jack who can systematically break you down to the body, tire you out, has an excellent jab, sets up that straight right hand beautifully, just as Anthony Dirrell, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a nightmare for Nathan Cleverly. And I got Badou Jack breaking him down to the body early, setting him up top. I got him by knockout by round 7. Easy work. You know, Badou Jack going to be the new WBA light heavyweight champion.
All right. So let's put a different spin on this thing. We got Dimitri Bivol hanging in the balance. They got to come to an agreement by September 11th, whoever the winner is. I mean, that was the stipulation that was made, you know, in order for them to make this fight, which is something they weren't going to do because, the WBO had already ordered the Bivol fight. So this is one of the things they put in the balance, you know what I'm saying, for that to take place. I want to get you guys' take on how Badou Jack fares at 175 because I think he's kind of like I won't say he's underestimated, but I'm kind of like he could be an X factor at 175 due to his skill set. Like he doesn't do anything necessarily great, but he has better defense than the majority of the guys at 175. You know what I'm saying? Like he does do something good. So I want to get you guys' take of how he actually fares. He actually thinks he'll be more powerful at the weight, you know, and have more athleticism. And, you know, that's not something we necessarily noted him for in the past was athleticism. So I'll go ahead and start with Big Cool on, and let me get your take on, like, what do you actually see for Badou Jack at 175? Can he be a big game guy at 175?
Well, he definitely be a big game guy. I like Badou Jack. He improved tremendously since the Derek Edwards knockout loss, as we've seen over the last few years. It depends on, man, his approach. If he keeps the same approach and kind of keeps evolving, and depends on who he faces. He has no chance against Andre Ward. You know, I just truly believe that, like everybody else up here. He has no chance, but we've seen Sergey. He's definitely vulnerable. You know, he has stamina issues. I think he has confidence issues now. Adonis Stevenson, explosive, but really hadn't been tested since, since fucking Chad Dawson. Never wasn't really a test, you know what I'm saying? I think he could beat Stevenson. It depends on, the type of fight he chose to fight. And Stevenson's up there in weight, up there in age too. So, you know, he hasn't been as active as you would like for an older guy to kind of stay sharp and keep those reflexes, sharp. But I think that he could definitely compete with some of the upper echelon guys, not named Andre Ward. You got the Barreras back there who kind of bounced back since the Ward loss. So, it's definitely, some success he could have at 175. But we'll see how if his power translates to have more at 175, that definitely helps him because, like 2K said, man, he has a very good jab, very good body attack, and, beautiful right hand that's very accurate and precise, and he throws it the proper way. So it's all about, the matchups and, when these fights take place. So I think he has a solid future at 175.
All right. I kind of want to get a different take because, 175 is a weird division right now. Since the dominant guy has been taken down and it's just Andre Ward pretty much essentially. So it's a lot of young guys, young guns, coming up. We got Bivol, we got Gavacic.
Beterbiev.
Beterbiev. It's a lot of guys waiting in the balance, man, that, that could – there's not a lot out there. Still a lot of speculation out on these guys, but they're pretty much given the go-ahead as being the next up, you know what I'm saying? So what do you guys think as far as Badou Jack contending with those guys, the Bivols and the Gavacics, not necessarily Cleverly, the guys that are young and gunning up coming in that division? I guess I'll go ahead and give it to Bernard, and I'll get 2K's take on it as well. What do you think about how he fares? I mean, do you think he has a chance of being a long reigning champion? That's my biggest thing. Or is it just going to be a quick one and done with him kind of thing?
Oh, that is a very good question. I think he could. I can see him giving out 2 to 3 defenses. I see after he beats Cleverly, I can see him possibly fighting in the interim champ, or whoever's next in line on the WBA. I don't see Floyd throwing him in there against. No, I see him throwing against Bivol first. Excuse me, because that's September 11th. They got to have that handled. But I can see him beating Bivol. My only issue with Badou Jack is he has great defense, but that high guard. And we all noticed in that fight against James DeGale, it got called a draw. I felt like we won. It could have gone either way. It was a great matchup. But that high guard tends, even though he's covering himself, his face, and his chest and his body with that high guard, a lot of the punches are being hit on his arms. And what I mean by that is, basically, to us, we're seeing him blocking the punches. But to the judges, they might be looking at the other fighter saying, "Oh, he's putting in work or whatever." So that's the only issue, because we've seen how Floyd reacted after that fight with DeGale and how he said he didn't get a fair shake and this and that. And 2K broke it down when that happened about how Badou Jack's style is. Don't get me wrong, great defense, but you got to do a little bit more to appease to the judges so they can see. So if it's a one and done, I don't think it's a one and done, but I can see him maybe 2 to 3 defenses. But I don't see him losing by knockout. I see him losing probably by a decision, maybe by a split decision at that.
Pretty interesting right there. I mean, I actually think for his high guard, and I mean, one of the things that goes against Badou Jack in his last couple of fights, especially like he does a lot of body work, man. I think that shit goes unnoticed by judges. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? But, let me go ahead and go to 2K, and let me get this take. How does he compete with the Bivols and the Gavasics? I mean,
right.
I actually think he has a good chance against those guys stylistically. The chin, I don't know. You know what I'm saying, at 175, but let me get your take on how he fares against the up-and-comers, not necessarily a Ward or a Donna Stevenson.
Well, I want to, before I go into that, I want to piggyback off of 2 points that these fellas made. You know, I 100% agree with Bernard. Badou Jack is going to have at 175, and this plays into answering your question as well. He's going to have more volume at 175. He can't just stand there and take shots on his arms, his elbows, shoulders, and, you know, give the perception to the judges that he's being outworked. He'll lose rounds continuously, just like he did at 168, you know what I'm saying, and the close fights that he had there. And then just to add on to what Big Cool said about Donna Stevenson's last challenge, nigga, that shit was before Dawson. That was Donovan George in 2012. And that fucking fight went back and forth until Stevenson got the knockout in the 12th round. And then right after that, he fought Boone. And then after he knocked out Darnell Boone, and then he fought Chad Dawson. So we ain't seen this motherfucker in a challenging fight since, you know, in about 5 years now. But anyway, but yeah, I think he matches up well with a lot of guys at 175. Hell, I think he even matches up well with Andre Ward. But Andre Ward is just so fucking good that he's going to take Badou Jack's advantages away from him. You see what I'm saying? That's just how good Andre Ward is. It's the IQ, man. If you look at Andre Ward, his style and what he does in the ring, it's not master class.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Very true. Very true.
The only thing that I would give him the upper hand on, and I said this in my my video about Lomachenko and Inoue, Andre Ward is upper echelon when it comes to being a switch hitter. He can beat you the same way in the southpaw position as he does in the orthodox position. That's something that we don't see in the sport of boxing very often. The only other one that can do that is Terence Crawford. But outside of that, I mean, he uses a basic skill set. He's mastered the fundamentals, and he's mastered the IQ part of the game to where he could just beat the shit out of a nigga without even looking flashy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what he would do to Badou Jack, even though that matchup is good. So without him, you know, Gvozdyk, that's an excellent fight. I'd love to see that. I'm still a little critical of Gvozdyk pertaining to his defense. I don't think he has very good defense. Sure, he beat the hell out of Uniesky Gonzalez. That's the last fight I see him.
Didn't he
beat up? Didn't he fight Chalimbe too? Didn't he fight Chalimbe on the undercard?
Yeah.
He looked good in that fight.
He looked good in that fight. That was a very good win for him. I agree.
You know what? But I had that. I mean, maybe y'all might disagree with me on that. I watched that fight only one time, and it was live. I had that fight a draw at the time of the stoppage. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have Gvozdyk beating the hell out of Isaac Chalimbe.
No, I agree with you, TK.
I had it close. I had it close, but I thought he was pulling away.
I thought Gvozdyk was starting to pull away, honestly. I thought it was his fight. You know what I'm saying? I thought he controlled it personally.
Yeah, me too. But it wasn't like no whitewashing or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Right. I was never high on Gvozdyk, and after the Chalimbe fight, I remained not high on him. And then, of course, Uniesky Gonzalez, I gave him props for that win, but at the same time, I mean, he was blown away already, you know what I'm saying? So, it wasn't really, how do I say, something where I could say, damn, Gvozdyk is a beast, good fighter.
Yeah.
But, he still needs to work on that head movement. You know what I'm saying? His head movement is terrible, bro. And I think, actually, to be honest with you, a guy like Gvozdyk is the type of guy that can beat a Badou Jack. And the reason why I say that is because of what Bernard's playing into Bernard's point earlier. He's low volume. He will stand there in the middle of the ring and shell up. Well, a guy like Gvozdyk can just stay on the outside and box. That's what he does. You know what I'm saying? So he can look good. And that's exactly why James DeGale was able to get a draw with him. You know what I'm saying? And I had no problem with the draw. A lot of people thought Badou Jack won because he knocked his teeth out, but you got to look at the rounds. You know what I'm saying? He fucking shelled up for the first 6 rounds, and then he took over the second 6. Both guys scored knockdowns in their respective times of being dominant. It was a clear-cut draw, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And he's got to change the way he fights, or else, man, he's going to lose fights that he could otherwise win. The Dimitri Bivol
as well, and we saw this with the Lucian Butte fight.
It's a dangerous game. He's playing with the slow starts. That's what it is.
Yeah.
He's playing with fire.
And a guy like Dimitri Bivol, he hasn't really fought anybody yet. But if you look at his boxing ability, man, if you allow this man to grow any more than where he's at right now, he's going to be one of the best 175-pound fighters in the division, dog. I'm saying that right now. You know what I'm saying? So he's definitely can be a problem for a low-volume type of fighter in Badou Jack, man. And I'm actually afraid for him in that fight. I don't want him to take that fight. If I'm Floyd Mayweather, I'm like, we'll fight you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And then he'll beat Nathan Cleverly, and then go ahead and pay this nigga off again. Pay him off again, dog. You don't want Bivol in there taking away the shine that Badou Jack is supposed to have at 175. Because let's face it, I think Mayweather is really trying to make Badou Jack face. Exactly. And Bivol would be that guy to put a monkey wrench in those plans, man. So I'm afraid for that fight.
And the only thing that, like we said, Ward is a very good fighter, but, the mental aspect is what makes him elite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know if Badou Jack poses that. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing everything you good, you got to do something exceptional. You know what I'm saying? To take you to that next level. And like I said, he doesn't have the fastest hands, the biggest puncher, and the chin, even though he's taking some big shots since the knockout, it's still questionable. So, unless he's been holding back, I don't see him being what Floyd Mayweather wants him to be. Still a very good fighter, but not the pound-for-pound elite, Andre Ward type guy.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. Like I was saying, he mentioned he felt he would be more athletic at 175, which I thought was a pretty surprising statement. So, we'll see how that pans out and what he's actually working on. With that said, we'll go ahead and talk about the rest of the undercard of the fight. You're not going to mention their names. Like I said, Rocky Martinez had to pull out of the fight with Gervonta Davis, so he'll be fighting Francisco Fonseca. We're going to touch on that one, but he's an undefeated fighter, making a step up against Gervonta. I'm not sure why they kept that as the co-main event personally, but, whatever.
You know why. You know why. You already know why.
We got Sean Porter actually on the undercard as well, facing Thomas DeLorme.
Nah, he fighting the day before.
Oh, he's not fighting on that undercard?
No, they said he was fighting the day before. You know how they had those big.
Well, I mean, because I remember the Anthony Peterson and Mickey Bay fight was supposed to be a couple days before or during the week. I didn't know Sean Porter was going to be like a day before or something like that neither. I thought it was going to be on the actual card, but
they might have switched it up. They might have switched it up because I know they first said it would be like the 25th.
Nah, he's on the card. It says August 26th.
I think he's on the actual card. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We ain't gonna touch too much on that one. We know DeLorme's over there driving Ubers in Vegas right now. So I mean, that is what it is.
Didn't know that.
No. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Then I mean, the fight that I like most of all on the undercard is actually Andrew Tabiti. Well, not outside of Badou Jack versus Coverly. I like Andrew Tabiti versus Steve Cunningham. I don't want to say this is a passing of the guard fight, but I mean, this is probably the biggest name Tabiti's been in against this, despite him having one of the underlying titles right now. I like the fight. You know what I'm saying? I want to get you guys' take on that one as far as Tabiti versus Cunningham. I think that's actually one of the better fights on the undercard. I'll go ahead and start off with Bernard.
Wow. Tabiti versus Cunningham.
Steve Cunningham, yeah.
I got to go with the young gun and Tabiti. I feel that this is a good test for him. Steve Cunningham comes to fight, so it could happen. Anything could happen, but I feel like Tabiti be consistently hard, keeping himself active. Definitely, he has some power on him for a cruiserweight. So I'm not gonna sit there and say this fight goes. If it does go by knockout, it'll be in the mid to late rounds, like 9-10. Look for Steve Cunningham. I think look for Steve Cunningham. I want to see how he's gonna fight in this fight, and what I mean by that is he gonna use his experience, the vet skills, to try to outlast against Tabiti. Tabiti, I feel like is going to utilize his jab and definitely land that right hand. And man, you want me to speak on the other fights too as well?
Nah, just this one mainly more than anything. Tabiti versus Cunningham. I don't know if you guys want to touch on Davis versus Fonseca. You can. I don't really have a lot of info on Fonseca personally.
Sure.
I know he's undefeated, but I don't know if it's necessarily anything for us to be chopping it up. You know what I'm saying?
Only thing I'm gonna say is this is his first fight in America. The majority of his fights were in Costa Rica. Enough said.
Yeah, it's not Argentina, but Costa Rica.
Exactly.
Where after the fight, you know what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna go into that. I ain't gonna go into that. You know what I'm saying? Cause bring out some personal stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
yo. But let me ask. Okay, for anybody, why did Rocky Martinez back out of this fight?
He was hurt. They said.
They said he was hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt.
That's the smartest thing he's done in his career. At this point, he would have got fucked up. But
2K, let me get your thoughts on the Tabiti versus Cunningham fight, man. Is this the passing of the guard, or does Cunningham have something left in him to shock the young gun?
Man, there comes a time, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to be like Larry Merchant in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? They'll go ahead and pan the camera on my face real quick. There comes a time.
I'm trying to keep a straight face, my bad.
Nah, but there for real. There comes a time where we look at guys and we're like, man, that nigga was good. You know what I'm saying? He's always in close fights. And all his losses were close losses. Losses he could have easily won if he would have just did this, or he got robbed in that fight. You know what I'm saying? And every fight that we see him go into, we're rooting for the guy. Right, we're like, damn, man, this nigga's a beast, y'all. I'm trying to tell you, I know the nigga's 72 years old, but he's still a beast, dog. You know what I'm saying? He's still a beast. That's how it is with Steve Cunningham right now. I think when we interviewed him, I told him that I used to tell cats about him because nobody knew who the fuck he was. You know what I'm saying? And I still kind of feel that way to this day. And I'm like, yo, Steve Cunningham can still be a fucking problem. But I got to get away from the feelings that I have in my heart. You know what I'm saying? And I got to listen. I got to listen to, to common sense, my conscience. Steve Cunningham is done. You know what I'm saying? He did win his last fight against a journeyman, but he hasn't been a real contender for a very long time now. You know what I'm saying? Since losing the Glaskov, probably a little before that. You know what I'm saying? Tabiti's going to whoop his ass, bro. And it might be a knockout. You know what I'm saying? And it will possibly be a ass beating in the sort of fashion where finally 41-year-old Steve Cunningham decides to hang him up. You know what I'm saying? Now, my heart is telling me, dog, no, this Steve Cunningham, he's only been knocked out once. You know what I'm saying? Fought some big punchers. No motherfucker could get him out of there. The only one that got him out of there was Tyson Fury, and he had to cheat to get him out of there. You know what I'm saying? So this little nigga ain't knocking this motherfucker out. But Father Time takes over, fam. And Father Time has taken over Steve Cunningham for about 2 years now. It's just slowly progressing. Then you have to look at how Steve Cunningham is literally only fighting once a year. He fought Glavaki in 2016, and he didn't return until March of this year. That's a whole year for a 40-year-old man. You know what I'm saying? If you're still going to be a contender, nigga, at that age, you have to be fighting like 4 times a year. You have to do the reverse towards the end of your career, right? You start off at the beginning fighting 17 times a year and shit, and then you get into contender status, then you start fighting 2 times a year. Then you're a champ, then you defend once or twice a year. But then when you get older, if you still want to be that nigga, you got to go back to fighting 4 or 5 times a year. You see what I'm saying? So you can keep your body active so it can stay used to being able to handle the competition, especially when you're not a cerebral fighter. If you're not a Floyd Mayweather, a thinker in the ring, or Andre Ward or Guillermo Rigondeaux, you can't get away with taking layoffs like that. You see what I'm saying? So even though he fought last March, I just feel the age, the slowing down over the course of 2 years, Tabiti's going to whoop his ass, man. Tabiti might knock him out. Now, I hope this is a close fight, one of those split decision type of fights, you know what I'm saying, where the old man still has it and he's able to show the young gun like, hey, bro, you're not going to be able to run over me. Because to be honest with you, I'm not high on Tabiti. There's a lot of things I see about Tabiti, specifically his footwork, terrible. Nigga's just stagnant in the ring. Stands there, has a tee off, you know what I'm saying. He doesn't really bring his hands home when he's throwing combinations. Don't have no head movement. You know what I'm saying? But he's got the great equalizer, which is power. You know what I'm saying? Now, I will give him, he's got fast hands as well. He's got some fast hands for a cruiserweight. But he still falls in line with some of the same flaws that bigger fighters have. See, me personally, man, I don't mean to be long-winded, but me personally, if I want to be impressed by a big guy, then show me some shit in the ring that big niggas don't do. You see what I'm saying? Like Luis Ortiz, this nigga got movement like he's a motherfucking middleweight as a heavyweight. That's impressive to me. You see what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder is able to give niggas angles. He wasn't before, but he honed his abilities to the point where he got his footwork good enough to where he can provide angles. That's impressive to me. Tyson Fury's ability to box on the outside and move around the ring like he was a smaller fighter. That's impressive to me for a big guy. Tabiti doesn't do things like this in the ring. So I'm not very impressed. He just looks like another big nigga with a heavy punch that's knocking these journeymen out. You know what I'm saying? And right now you got a 41-year-old man who's slowing down. He should knock him out too. If he doesn't, that's going to say a lot about Tabiti to us, man. Real talk.
Tabiti is one of those interesting people to me in the division, man, because, like, you know, he's just a raw-ass, he's just raw, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a latecomer to boxing. I mean, like, everything. And that's one of the things why I try to watch him, just to see how he's progressing, because, like, he's a guy that came in this shit so fucking raw, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And to see what he's doing right now, I wish he would have been in this World Boxing Super Series, even though he wouldn't have won it, you know. But I just think it would have been good for him experience-wise.
Absolutely.
He has one of the better trainers in the game as far as Floyd Mayweather Sr., you know, as far as teaching them stuff on the go, you know, at that, you know, for a guy that's completely raw in this game. So I definitely want to pay attention into his career, but I agree with what you're saying, TK. He has a lot of things that he's faulty at right now that can get him exploited, which is probably one of the reasons why he wasn't entered in the World Boxing Super Series. But I think it definitely would have been better for him in the long run if he was involved in that.
You know what I would do? You know what I would do if I'm Steve? My bad, Big Cole. I mean to cut you off.
You good.
You know what I would do if I was Steve Cunningham, dog? I would make this a motherfucking phone booth fight. Don't give this nigga no type of advantage to load up on his punches, because if you watch him fight, he's kind of like, as far as needing mid-range distance, I'm not saying they're the same stylistically, but it's like Gennady Golovkin and Sergey Kovalev. They need that mid-range distance so they can you know, power up on their punches, get full extension. If I'm Steve Cunningham, even though I have a 5.5-inch reach advantage, I'm not trying to box Tabiti. I'm 41 years old. Get on the inside, make it a phone booth fight, make it to where you tire out the young gun, which is a possibility, because we don't really know, you know, if he's able to adapt to veteran-like tactics, you know, like leaning on a nigga. You know, I like to see Steve Cunningham get in there and beat the body up and lean on this motherfucker, put the entire 200 pounds on this nigga's frame. What's this young-ass nigga going to do when he starts to get tired? Can he still muster up the power to be able to hurt Steve Cunningham, or is he going to get outworked on the inside? See, little shit like that is what I'll be doing if I'm Cunningham, man. Veteran tactics are going to be key to his victory in this fight.
All right, with that, we're going to shift into our next topic, man. I picked this one just because I think it's one of the weirder things we've seen. We had Jamie McDonnell. The WBA ordered a purse bid for Jamie McDonnell versus Liborio Solis recently. Now, the thing is, that was motherfucking McDonnell's last fight.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell is going on with this. These organizations find a new way every day to befuddle me as far as my thoughts and what the hell they're trying to accomplish.
The WBA.
I mean, all of these organizations got some weird shit to them, but this is just one of the weirdest things ever. Like, this was a UD decision.
But it was. I watched this fight.
Was it as controversial? I mean, I can understand it not being a UD.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't as controversial as this being made to seem to me. It's kind of like that Indom and Murata fight. You know, it's one of those things to me, and that was the WBA as well, right?
Well,
yeah.
Unfortunately,
Some of the bitches.
Yeah, the WBA. I mean, that's what I'm saying. They're known for doing this type of shit. You know, putting rematches together in lower tier type of fights. You know what I'm saying? But ironically, in this fight, dog, only one judge got the score right, and that was Stanley Christodoulou. And this is the same motherfucking judge that had Canelo beating Austin Trout 119-108. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, ironically, he got the score right, 115-113. You know, it could have went either way in my opinion. I remember watching this fight. I was at Whole Foods, you know what I'm saying, picking out the best eggs that were offered in the store. You know what I'm saying?
The brown eggs. That's the white joint.
Word up. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucking organic brown eggs, nigga.
Yes,
anyway. But yeah, I was at Whole Foods and my wife was doing the grocery shopping. I'm watching the fight while we're grocery shopping, and I'm seeing Liborio Solis take a lot of the earlier rounds. You know what I'm saying? And and at the end of the fight, it started going back and forth. I saw McDonnell starting to take over, but it was clearly a very close fight. So to hear the judges, 116, 112, 117, 111, I was like, oh hell no. Nah. Maybe that's how the WBA feels. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they had this rematch. Jamie McDonnell's not a good fighter to me. I just talked to one of my boys, shout out to my man Frack, you know what I'm saying, over at Boxing Updates. I think it was Frack. Matter of fact, it wasn't Frack, but I'll keep the shout out. Shout out to my man Allen over at the Commissioners Boxing Group. He said that one of his favorite fighters was Jamie McDonnell out of the UK, one of his favorite UK fighters. And I told him that, him along with Terry Flanagan, these two guys are highly overrated. And it's only a matter of time. Shit, McDonnell's already got 2 losses. So it's only a matter of time that he will give up that WBA strap, you know what I'm saying, that bantamweight. He'll have to stay the fuck away, you know what I'm saying, from Shinsuke Yamanaka, you know what I'm saying. He'll have to stay away from Naoya's brother. You know what I'm saying? He might fucking knock him out. So he's a guy that's got a belt. But like I said, it's only a matter of time. And this is what the WBA is doing. They're just having a rematch with a guy that he can beat, you know what I'm saying, and give him the opportunity to keep the title before he loses it eventually to one of the top fighters in the division. Even though he's ranked number 3 at 118, he's clearly the weakest link there, man. Clearly.
Definitely. Let me get you guys' take on it as well. Be cool. As far as this rematch, McDonnell's, he's had some pretty close matches in his most recent fights, even with I can't think of old boy's name from Japan as well, that he had 2 fights with.
Komoda, is that what the case or am I wrong?
Yeah, Kameda. Yeah, Kameda. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, he's definitely been slipping and had some closer fights, you know what I'm saying? What do you think as far as this one being cool? Is this coming to the end of the line for McDonnell, as 2K was saying?
Man, look, man, I ain't gonna lie like I'm too familiar with this guy. I'm pretty sure I didn't seen him fight once, but I can't even lie to talk about this because I'm not familiar with the guy. This is Jamie McDonnell, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I seen him fight, but shit, I'm gonna take 2K's word, man, and go off that, because, shit, I definitely don't know what the fuck I be talking about in this subject, so I'm going to let Bernard take over.
But no, okay. Anything you want to add on not Yamanaki, but McDonnell and Solis?
No, not really, but I'm going to say this. Wasn't it last week, maybe 2K, that you said, what's the dude's name that just won the belt that's going against DZ? Burnett. Burnett should be the one that fights Jamie McDonnell.
Yeah.
Okay. I still could see. I'm not saying Burnett's gonna beat ZZ, but should that happen, look for a possible unification battle between McDonnell and Burnett. If McDonnell gets past,
that's where the money is. That definitely would be where the money is. That would be a good money fight. Actually, Burnett against,
for the UK.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But Burnett would have to be victorious, as you said, Bernard. So that's the biggest thing on it. I don't necessarily see Burnett winning this fight against ZZ. Hopefully we get a unification bout or order from the WBA on that one for whoever the winner is coming up. But shit, we'll go ahead and go into our next topic, which I think is a pretty important one.
Hold on, Swan.
Go ahead.
I feel bad, man. I need to know what Big Cool had to say about that point he made. I feel really bad, man. I didn't mean to cut him off. Do you remember what you was gonna say?
Man, it ain't that deep. I was just gonna say that Cunningham could definitely win the fight, but he don't fight the smartest fight, at times, and kind of give chances to his opponent and that shit. Tabiti I see him knocking him out just because, Cunningham old and fights sloppy and kind of just, not what he used to be. And like I said, he chinny too. So I see, Tabiti, stopping him in a good fight, but Cunningham sometimes undisciplined. As much as he give us great fights and a very good fighter, he isn't the most disciplined fighter that we've seen. So I got Tabiti winning by knockout.
Definitely want to give him the benefit of the doubt because, it seems like he recognizes it, at least when we interviewed him, like he was actually on top of it as far as talking about the shit. So, maybe it might translate into another big win for him. We'll just have to wait and see, man. We just had I'll go ahead and go into our next topic, which I think might be pretty important, man. I know we discussed the retirement of Tim Bradley recently on one of the other podcasts within the past few weeks. There was another study that was put out. They've been doing these CTE studies, and it came back that 20% of boxers end up with dementia. It's no surprise they're using your hands as mallets as a career, getting hit. That ain't what they was intended for. So it ain't really a surprise to me. But we're all already seen like a dying of the sport in the country as far as youth taking it up at an early age. It's usually something they take up after other sports now, pursuing other sports as opposed to the past. It would be a primary thing. So, we've seen it have an effect on football. So, what does this have effect on as far as boxing goes? I'll go ahead and let Bernard take a stab on this one starting off, man. What do you think this means for the sport and as far as introducing more talent to it?
I think anybody that understands that even steps in this sport, you are taking a risk no matter what. Definitely with your head, but eyes, nose, and just for the simple fact you getting hit in your head alone is a risk. What people don't understand, I don't want to say people don't understand, but over the time, there are certain things that also plays a role in the damage, in the head damage. For example, a fighter wearing sparring gear does not protect him from concussions or head injuries, nor does it stop the blow to the head. Basically, there was a video within the article, Twine. I don't know if you watched it, but it was a 7-minute video that broke down all types of injuries as well as the diseases from dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson. So, headgear does not help out. We just have to understand that boxing is a gruesome sport. These fighters are taking a risk. At least 10 fighters a year die from head injuries, according to the video. It's something I don't know how to say it, but I'm gonna say this though. I think if anything, I wish they would have did a study more on fighters that were more phone booth fighters, and then compare with fighters that are more defensive sound fighters.
It's actually a good point, Bernard.
And then the reason why I'm saying is because you get fans that really be like, oh, he's running, or you don't want to stand there and fight. But boxing let me rephrase it. The art of boxing is to hit and not get hit. And when the knockout opportunity presents itself, that fighter will go for it then. It's not going there to be rock-em, sock-em robots. I'm going to give you the perfect example. We already seen how at the end of your tail end of your career, when you had that rock-em, sock-em style, it'll show in the end. The perfect example is Robert Ghost Guerrero. He sat there, he took hella blows, no type of defense, left his head open. He got knocked down 5 times. I would like to see where he's at several years from now because of that style. I mean, you can compare his brain, compare how he acts 10 years from now with that of Floyd Mayweather, with that of Lara, with that of Andrade, with that of Andre Ward. Compare the fighter. I would definitely like to see in the sport of boxing, compare the fighters with those that took hit, that had that phone booth style, rocket style against those that are defensively sound, such as Rigo. Compare those fighters. That would be a great thing because that study, even though it's for all boxers, and I understand that, but there are some boxers out here that have a sound mind. For example, Bernard Hopkins. He was a defensive-minded fighter, and look where he's at. He's moving around. He's doing what he's supposed to do. As a person, he's not showing any illness or sickness in his at this time. Oscar De La Hoya is not showing anything at this time. So,
if it is, it's from the cocaine.
It's from the cocaine.
Yeah.
Hey, the perfect example of somebody that's flying their speech. Roy Jones Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all the shots he taking. Even though he wasn't taking none in the beginning, but as later on, and he was getting hit, and he was getting knocked out cold, and then you hear him talking, he still want to fight. That plays a role. So I tell anybody, watch. And even though Roy Jones didn't have that phone booth in their type of style, it's just that when he started catching them shots and started getting knocked out, it was like, oh, shit. And then he kept fighting, and kept going. Instead of laying off, he's now slurring his speech. So, like I said, I'm going to say this one more time. I want to see them really go deeper in this, but I would tell anybody, if anything, if you're listening to the show, Twine, I don't know if you post a link in the Facebook group, but definitely, if not, I will post it, and I'll post a video as well. For those, even in a couple of other boxing groups, those that listen to us, the video was 7 minutes long, but it was very informational for anybody. If you want to know about the different type of diseases that comes from those that box and get hit inside, get hit and everything like that with the head injuries. So,
all right. TK, I'll pass it on to you. Does this hurt or hinder boxing? I mean, especially with it being in competition with MMA now, where they actually use thinner gloves, and you see more knockouts. I won't say you see more knockouts, but I mean they look a whole lot more brutal, I guess, sometimes because of the glove size or whatever. So I mean, with that aspect, what do you think as far as just this news coming out? How does it impact boxers? Youngins coming up in the sport, because I know you work with a lot of youth as well, training. So let me get your take on this study.
Well, the result of the study is just going to make boxing more pussified. I know I sound, bitter and maybe, uncaring. But, I mean, this is the nature of the sport, man. I mean, when I was fighting, when I was going to gyms and I had, aspirations of being an amateur fighter and shit, trainers used to tell me all the time. I had maybe about 4 different trainers. And they tell me all the time, yo, this life, you know what I'm saying, is nothing to be, to fuck with. It's not a game. You can't play this. You have to take this shit seriously. You know what I'm saying? We all know it's the nature of the game. You go in there and, for 4, 8, 10, or 12 rounds, you're getting hit in the fucking head. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, 20% is actually a low number, in my opinion, given the nature of the business. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a guy that believes in a gladiator sport, and I really hate how fights are stopped prematurely way more than they ever were in the past. I mean, I just finished watching Ray Mercer knock out Tommy Morrison. If y'all remember that knockout, Ray Mercer was beating the fuck out of Tommy Morrison. Like, that, they would have probably banned Ray Mercer for beating that ass like that. You know what I'm saying? They would have banned that nigga, dog. And all he was doing was what he's supposed to do as a fighter, right? But the way boxing is so pussy today, he probably would have got a suspension. You know what I'm saying? But back then, it was like, hell, knockout win for Ray Mercer. Who's next, right? This is the nature of business. You know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers coming up with brain damage, you know, this happening, that happening. That's a disclaimer that these guys knew that they were aware of when they got into the sport. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Like, and in reference to Tim Bradley, because you mentioned Tim Bradley's retirement, and I remember he said something to the nature of watching Pacquiao get his ass beat by Jeff Horn made him decide to retire. Tim Bradley, let's say if he has dementia, right, later on in his life, he may develop Parkinson's and shit like Freddie Roach and Muhammad Ali from the head shots that they took in their career. That would be his own doing. He decided to fight a particular way in order to please the fans, so he would stop getting death threats and people not liking him in the boxing world for beating Manny Pacquiao in the first fight. You know what I'm saying? It only takes one fight. I truly believe to this day that Muhammad Ali had Parkinson's because of his fight with George Foreman. You know what I'm saying? He took a lot of headshots in that fight. You know what I mean? If Tim Bradley were to get any type of disease towards the end of his life, it would be because of the fight with Ruslan Provodnikov. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't think the Diego Chavez.
Nah, man.
He actually got a concussion from Provodnikov. Like, he
fought like a dumbass, bro. He lost his damn mind, man. I don't know what the fuck happened to him in that fight.
Ruslan beat the shit out of him, bro. Like, Bradley won the fight, but Ruslan had way more damage. You know what I'm saying? He gave way more damage anyway. So, yeah, it would be that fight if he had something wrong with him. So, I mean, like I said, though, man, not to be too long-winded, but that's the nature of the business, man. And this study is going to be ready to see more fights being stopped too prematurely. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Might as well make them amateurs and give them headgear again, man.
Exactly.
I think, man, look, it won't hurt boxing more than it already hurt them for whatever. Because, like I said, if you're going to fight, you're going to fight. You got to love to fight. You can't fight as a hobby or fucking just because, you know what I'm saying? Because it's already dangerous if you got that passion for it. Anyway, if you highly qualified to do it. But, I mean, it's a decision you got to make. Same with football. I never boxed, but I play football, and I definitely have my share of concussions and shit. I mean, it is what it is. You can't go in thinking about, you know, how you're going to be 30, 40, 50 years from now. You know what I'm saying? If you get to thinking like that, it's time for you to retire and go do something else, because we all going to die of something anyway, so it ain't no need of fucking, you know, sweating or fucking panicking and being worried about some shit that you could easily fucking prevent from happening by not even lacing up the gloves or strapping on the helmet. So, I mean, if you want to fight, you're going to fight because you love it and that's what you want to do. If not, I mean, then don't fight. I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess you got to do these studies because concussions are, you know, at a higher, you know, rate now, being more known and talked about in the forefront. But this shit was going on back in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, you know what I'm saying? Now it's just motherfuckers are really kind of don't know how to deal with it, don't know what it is, and not saying that they soft or whatever. Just shit, when you not normal like you used to be and some shit drastically changed, you're going to be alarmed and you're going to, you know, make a big deal out of it. But the only thing I can tell you to do is motherfucking fighters need to get better defensively and technique-wise and just be smarter, man. You ain't got to entertain the fans in a rock and roll type fight. You know what I'm saying? You just got to fight the fight to get the victory and go home and be with your loved ones, man. So you can never really correct boxing. Like, it's not like football where you can make, major adjustments. It's like two men with the gloves. Either you got the reflexes and the technique and defense to move and avoid them shots, or you just got to be a tough motherfucker and just keep marching on and hopefully you get the victory.
And I think 2K alluded to it best. I mean, you don't play boxing. I know Big Cool has said it. A lot of other fighters have said it. Like, it ain't something you don't play boxing. It ain't your traditional sport. I mean, so you definitely got to take it a lot more seriously before you get involved and too heavy into it. I mean, it comes with the territory. So, I mean, that's just what goes, man. Hopefully people have more of appreciation of the style, based on these kind of studies instead of just the instant gratification of knockouts and blood and shit like that. A lot of us still appreciate the sweet science, but then, it seems like we're being overtaken by the people that want that instant gratification of a knockout as opposed to seeing the breakdown mentally of somebody from just being outboxed in a chess match, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, hopefully this brings some kind of, I guess, spotlight on these kind of fighters and, make them more appreciated, knowing that, guys are going in there taking unnecessary punishment just to please you. So, I mean, we'll keep an eye on it. Boxing has already been, at least domestically here, as a sport to where when it used to be a first sport you would look at, it's becoming like a fourth or fifth. And
football joining them though, man. They, like 2K said, not to cut you off, everything becoming pussified. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, football ain't gonna be what it was. Like, we gonna talk about 5 years from now, man. Damn, football used to be, it took over from, baseball being America's favorite sport or favorite pastime. And then now motherfuckers gonna be playing golf and tennis and swimming and shit. You know what I'm saying? Not nothing wrong with that, but motherfuckers gonna make excuses to avoid any type of physical fucking, combat sport just because the dangers of fucking, Parkinson's, dementia, fucking whatever it is. So, I mean, football headed the same route as boxing, man.
Yeah, definitely could see it heading that way. I mean, I guess the thing with boxing is, like, it has a competitor in MMA, and then it has football doing shit like this now. So it might be one of the last forethoughts. So, we'll see how it plays out in the long run, man. But we'll kick it off into the next topic. Pretty interesting bout announced over the UK side.
It's not interesting at all. Stop it.
Man, I know what we about to talk about. I already know what we about to talk about.
That was a terrible intro into the damn topic.
Two ex-champions. Yes, it is interesting. fighting for the glory and to keep their careers going. The last chance to keep it going.
This should be
This is a final shot. A final shot at glory.
Oh.
We got Anthony Crolla versus Ricky Burns announced for October 7th. I'm just like, what the hell rate is? What is that? 130? I don't even know what weight it's at because Burns has been at 140, and Crolla's been at 135. So I didn't even pay attention to what weight it was announced at. But
I heard it was at 135.
That
was one of my reasonings for why Crolla might fuck around win. And I think
I'll go ahead and let 2K dive into that one because he know about the 135. This is the first I'm hearing about the weight established in this, so I want to get his break take on how that's going to affect this one. Go ahead, 2K.
Yeah, I mean, it's I've heard it's at 135, and if it's indeed at 135, that's going to be hard for Ricky Burns because he did come up from 135, right? He was I believe the WBO champion at 135, lost it to Terence Crawford. Yeah, moved up to 140, picked up the WBA, then lost it to Julius and Indongo, right? But he had been campaigning at 140 for quite some time. So, and I think, how old is he? What, 33, 35, 34?
I think 34.
Okay, 34. So that means he's gaining weight. He's naturally gaining weight as an older man. And I know it's only 5 pounds, but just the natural weight gain that comes with age, it can get harder to lose weight in a healthy manner, right? To be able to keep your stamina, your endurance up to par, and your ability to perform at the optimum level at that age when you're losing weight. So if it's indeed at 135, I think he's going to suffer from some drawbacks of trying to cut weight at that age. And there's a possibility Anthony Crolla's garbage ass fuck around win this fight. Anthony Crolla's so whack to me, dog. I never liked, man, I always go back to this shit. I never, not one day in my life, ever, was like, Anthony Crolla, man, that's that dude right there. Nope. All the way back, I'll never forget and always mention, Derry Matthews knocked his bitch ass out in front of all his hoes. You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget that fight because they tried to talk Anthony Crolla up so much. And I watched him. I was like, all right, let's see what this nigga talking about. Him and Luke Campbell. They loved him some Luke Campbell over there. I was like, all right, let me see what they talking about. Crolla cat. Crolla winning the fight, the whole fight, fuck around. He gets complacent because he had a lot of bitches, literally. When I say that, I'm serious. He had a lot of bitches ringside watching him fight because they think he's attractive out there in the UK, and it was in his hometown. So he gets complacent, fucked around, got knocked out. You know what I'm saying? So ever since then, I was like, oh, this nigga whack. And I wake up one day, and this nigga's the WBA champion at 135. I don't know how the fuck that happened, but again, another motherfucker that slipped through the cracks ends up with a title, right? So, but one thing I will say good about him is he's a very good body puncher. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? If you get caught up on the ropes, Anthony Crolla will beat the shit out of your body. You know what I'm saying? But as long as you keep the fight in the middle of the ring and box, you can beat this dude very, very easily, too. Just like Jorge Linares did coming off a motherfucking layoff. You know what I'm saying? So, Ricky Burns is that guy. He's a boxer. He's got pretty decent footwork. He's not prolific at it, not a master in the footwork department. He's got enough. He kind of reminds me of a small Billy Ho Sanders. That's who Ricky Burns reminds me of. So, with that type of skill set, I think he could beat Anthony Crolla, probably 8 rounds to 4, 7 rounds to 5, but you got the weight problem. And if it is indeed at 135, I'm going to have to take Anthony Crolla, man. He's going to break him down because of the drawback of having to cut weight at that age. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm going to try to get it confirmed if it's at 135, but I've seen it.
It is. It's 135. It's at lightweight. Yeah, it's definitely at lightweight. I just checked now.
I got Anthony Crolla.
And that body work, if Crolla comes in with the game plan of going for the body with Burns being weight drained, yeah, he can get him out of there in the mid to late rounds. Yeah, I believe so. So, yeah, that's how you got to do.
Him out of there. Shit, I mean, Burns has been in there against some big punchers,
Yeah,
bigger punchers than Crolla. You know
he's up there. He's up there, and he's kind of in that Indongo fight. He wasn't.
The weight deprivation might add to the knockout factor. I guess that I could see that there, man. So I can understand where you're coming from with that one, but he hasn't necessarily been one of them guys you knock out. Crawford can do a fucking career relic as a heavy-handed puncher at 140. Couldn't get him out or put him down. So I mean, I don't necessarily see Crolla doing unless it's more of a thing of attrition, accumulation. You know what I'm saying?
Figueroa couldn't do it either. The guy that just knocked out Guerrero, he couldn't knock him out either. So
I think it's going to be one of those things. If it is a knockout, it's an accumulation of punishment. But the thing with Crolla is he usually starts out slow against guys that are good boxers. And, I mean, so he's going to have a uphill battle. I expect Ricky Burns to come out fast, but can he maintain it, with the weight cut?
Yep.
Let me get your thoughts on this fight, 2K. Well, not 2K, but Big Cool.
Man, I think Ricky Burns is just about through. Then he dropping down in weight, susceptible to body shots. I mean, I just think he's been through a lot of fucking tough battles won some fights he shouldn't have won. You know what I'm saying? Got his ass beaten in fights he should have got his ass beat in. He a good fighter, but I still think his title reign, whenever he got hot, was one of the most overrated, runs, you know what I'm saying, that I remember in boxing. But I mean, Crolla is a good fighter. He gave Linares 2 solid fights, and like I said, he fighting at a comfortable weight for him. And working that body on a guy who's older, and is susceptible to body shots, man, I think that he should win. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he dropping down 5 pounds after fighting at 140 for last 2-3 years. I think that Ricky Burns is going to have his final payday. I think he's going to go out with a knockout loss, TKO loss, and we ain't got to hear from him anymore, So it's a solid fight, I guess. But, yeah, I think Crolla get the job done late, around 9 or 10, TKO, make Ricky Burns quit.
All right. I guess that will conclude this topic for this one.
What's your thoughts on it?
Me, I actually think Burns has enough to take this one, man. I mean, he lost to a bigger ranger fighter in Indongo in a boxing fight as opposed to a war. So I mean, I think this is something he could actually fight that he could actually win, just depending on how he tests the weight.
Agreed.
I think that is going to be the biggest thing, but he definitely has a skill set to win this easily on the outside fighting Crolla. So I would favor Burns personally. I don't necessarily see the weight cut taking that much off of him, but we'll see, man. I said we'll go ahead and dive into our next topic. We had the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame do their inductions this week. We just want to do a slight mention, nothing big on it. We had Tommy Hearns elected. A couple of other fighters. I guess the Spinks brothers as well were finalized in there. Ken Norton, Eric Morales, Michael Carbajal, and we actually had a female fighter as well in Lucia Riker, who's actually was a very exciting fighter in kickboxing.
Oh, yeah.
For y'all that y'all that know y'all shit. You know what I'm saying? She was the
$1 million baby.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So definitely want to give a shout out to those inducted to the Hall of Fame. Sean Porter won Fighter of the Year out there. So shout out to him. You guys got anything you want to add as far as talking about this? I just want to give y'all a chance if you want to touch on anything, Hearns or the Spinks brothers being the first set of brothers and actually inducted into that one. Anything.
I think there's a couple guys that should go ahead of Leon Spinks, particularly his brother, and Tommy Hearns, definitely. So if it comes down to there's only 2 slots and those 3 are left, they need to leave out Leon Spinks. I like Leon Spinks, don't get me wrong. He did beat Muhammad Ali, old Muhammad Ali, by the way. But he's the least skilled of the 3 fighters, or he's less skilled than the other 2 fighters I mentioned. And you got Michael Spinks, who gave Larry Holmes his first loss when he was on the brink of tying Rocky Marciano's record, which I think was a robbery. But they had a rematch, and then he beat him again. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, Tommy Hearns. I mean, I don't even need to say nothing about him that these listeners should already know. You know what I'm saying? So, and then, of course, Lucia Riker. A lot of people don't know that she was the girl that fucked up Hillary Swank and $1 Million Baby. A lot of people don't know that's Lucia Riker and that she was actually a real boxer, and she was a real good one. The way they portrayed her in the movie is pretty much how she was when she was fighting. You know what I'm saying? She looked like a nigga. You know what I'm saying? They had little moments where they tried to make her look pretty and shit, but nah, you can't. It's like trying to make Cyborg and shit look pretty. You know what I'm saying? So she looked like a nigga, and she was very intimidating to her opponents. That's, besides her skill set, of course, that's how she was beating motherfuckers up when she was on top of her game. So she's another one I think should be in there. And I'm glad they have a woman inductee. You know what I'm saying? I don't really hear that very often. So that's going to be a good thing right there.
Yeah, definitely nice to see her getting some attention. Rather late than later. later than never, or whatever they say. You guys got anything you want to add to this one before we jump into the next topic? Be cool or Bernard?
No, I agree.
No, I'm good.
See a woman inducted in the Boxing Hall of Fame.
All right. I pretty much want to say big up to Sean Porter, man. He's been a good ambassador for the sport. He's a pretty good dude, man.
Yeah.
I was happy to see him get that. You know what I'm saying? He's a guy that's, I mean, if you ever look at him, he's always at anything involving boxing, whether it's something Hall of Fame in New York. He's always attending fights. So he's very involved in the sport, man. And it's good to see him get rewarded for some of this stuff now, man. Been a long climb. He's still one of the guys that's lesser-known guys. But, I mean, if you see him fight, he brings his all in every fight. And you just got to enjoy a good
Keith
guy
Thurman.
like that. Yeah, I think so as well. But you got to enjoy seeing the good spirit.
I disagree.
You know
Me too.
yeah. I know there's going to be disagreement, but, you know, it's definitely a closer fight. Close fight, you know. You could have went either way to me, 7-5, one of those 7-5 things, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but we'll definitely we'll hit up into the next topic, man. I don't know, 2K probably going to give off that damn laugh when I announce it. I'm kind of nervous. But every time I mention the name, I got to be nervous.
Oh,
We have Julian Williams versus Tony Harrison in talks, man.
Man.
J-Rock.
I mean, I like the fight personally. I like a lot of fights though. So I mean,
I like it for J-Rock.
It's definitely a good fight for both guys. They're coming off of career-defining losses. So it's definitely a fight they both need in a way.
Harrison? That nigga's career-defining loss was against Willie Nelson.
No, I mean, he fought for another title, though. I mean, fight for
But he shouldn't have. Willie Nelson gave that nigga the business. They were just being nice, like, all right, man, all right. You were a highly touted prospect. Let's give you another title shot.
No,
and then
he worked his way back into it, though.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like they gave it to him. But
that nigga whack. I never liked Tony Harrison from the get-go.
I told you it was coming. Anytime I mention the name, Tony Harrison.
You're great. No, that's really.
You know what, man? Y'all niggas gonna disagree with me on this shit, especially Twan. Them niggas out of Detroit, overrated. Them Detroit niggas is over motherfucking rated. You know what I'm saying? The Emmanuel Stewart proteges and shit. Them niggas is overrated, man. Fuck out of here. Them niggas always supposed to be good, right? And you high on them. Of course I'm not. Of course well shit, I could put Tommy Hearns in this group, but Tommy Hearns is a fucking legend, right? But still, even Tommy has fallen short for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, they always got this incredible skill set, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at him and be like, damn, this nigga's nice. Look at the nigga hand speed, fam. Look at the nigga combination. That nigga gonna be nice, B. Then they get in the ring, get knocked the fuck out in the third round. That's Detroit niggas for you, 100%. You know what I'm saying? They get in the ring. They fucking don't do anything that you saw them niggas doing in the goddamn gym. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck are you? Look at Andre Dirrell. He's not from Detroit, but he's still a
Michigan nigga. Yeah, Michigan nigga.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Andre Dirrell is clearly one of the most talented niggas from 160 to 168. You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck is this nigga not champion? I'll tell you why. Because Michigan. That's why. Overrated.
Yeah, man, I gotta agree with him on that, bro. Like, for real. Cause you look at these cats, you like, yeah, that's a future Hall of Fame or at least a fucking elite fighter. But these niggas be like 30 for 30. What could have been, you know? Shit.
Brother, I mean, look at
Damn, that's fucked up.
Look at man, he shouldn't have set this shit up. This nigga knew what the fuck he was doing. Look at the nigga we just interviewed not too long ago.
Oh, shit.
The nigga from Detroit.
Ronnie Austin.
Right? Nigga, Nigga nice.
You know, I'm going to have to hear some shit about this later, man. That's all.
That nigga, right? We all agree. Nigga nice. In the gym, he nice, right? But then he talks to this nigga, he like, I say, yo, you know what I'm saying? You looking at the 140-pound landscape? You know what I'm saying? A lot of niggas there, dog. Shit, fam, I don't even watch boxing. Really? You know what I'm saying? I don't even know who none of the fighters are. Matter of fact, I don't know anybody in boxing. Vasily Lomachenko is number 1 pound for pound. Get the fuck out of here! Looking ass in training, right? In training, in the ring, he's gonna fall in line with the rest of the Michigan niggas. We're gonna be like,
the unfabulous five. Yeah.
Oh man, damn.
Put me in the line. Put me in the line of fire, man.
You put yourself in the line of fire for that one. Just for trying
to talk the sport. I got.
Man, look, bro. They know we don't mean no ill will, man. Shit, we just gotta call it how we see it, man. We can't sugarcoat shit, man.
I mean, I don't know what it is. I mean, 2K's pretty much alluded to it. He's a brain fart away from fucking up every fight, man, with Tony. It ain't like he can't fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's been winning both of the fights that he got his ass knocked out in.
That nigga get to the certain round, bro, and it's over. He get to the 7th round, he like, fuck it.
He quit against her.
7th, 8th, 9th, like, the mental is just the mental breakdown.
Yep. That's what he get mentally tired real quick. When they get to that 7th round, he's like, okay, shit. I don't have too much success past this point, so I'm gonna just try to wing it. But man, I don't know. He a good fighter for his dog. These niggas be gassing, man.
J-Rock beat this nigga ass, bro. J-Rock had the worst loss of the two. You know what I'm saying? He got put immediately to sleep by a counter uppercut. That shit usually fucks your career up.
Catch and shoot at that. I mean,
at least he got beat by somebody that. At least he got beat by somebody that we consider could be elite guy. You know what I'm saying? Willie Nelson, you got beat by a motherfucker that looked like he could be a fucking part-time PE teacher or some shit, man. Like, fucking an angry basketball coach.
Oh, that's fucked up.
You know, that's real talk, though.
I agree. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, though, man. Like, that should fuck your career up because the momentum J-Rock had going into that Jamal Charlo fight, this nigga really believed in himself, like, to the maximum, to the point where, you know, if you told him, I mean, this didn't really happen, but the type of confidence he had, he was one of the niggas, like, if you would have told him, hey, dog, I don't think you're going to win this fight, and you're in his gym, he'd be like, nigga, get the fuck out my gym, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It would have been like that. Breadman, too, the utmost confidence, and they went in there and got knocked the fuck out in the fashion that they did. That fucks niggas' careers up, B. But he is still going to be able to beat Tony Harrison. That's how whack Tony Harrison is, dog. Real tough. Shit, he might knock nigga out third round knockout. I'm going on the limb, third round knockout.
If you mentally weak, bro, no matter what skill set you possess, how athletic you are, bro, if you can't fucking dig deep, man, you ain't worth a damn to nobody.
Yep.
Very true. Very true, man. The championship rounds for a reason. I mean, they call it that for a reason. I mean, it's not just physical. The mental is just as big as the physical in this game, which is why, you know, a lot of fighters have been considered great. You know, they were able to stay in it mentally for the 12 rounds as opposed to just doing it physically. You know, that when it really mattered in the championship rounds, that's what got them through as opposed to just the physical. And it seems like, you know, when it comes to those championship rounds or the latter rounds and the biggest fights of his career is, you know, Tony is blood as nail. Like, I still think he has a lot of promise, but
I think it's done.
Promise you sure this ain't ready to take your ass out of that basket, huh?
Yeah, bro. Like,
I mean,
like,
you
got to do it how you got to do it.
Winning the rounds in these fights, like, it's not like he was losing these fights. That's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't like he was losing these things.
I got to do it like with Andre Dirrell, man. Like, that's my dog. That's my guy. but it ain't happening for him, bro. It ain't happening for him. You know what I'm saying? It just ain't gonna happen. So I mean, I'm not picking the guy to win nothing worth nothing. So I mean, just do it, Twan. Just say, you know, just release yourself, man. Tony Lewis is not about to be a champion.
I don't write fighters off because I think it's up to them to fucking, you know what I'm saying, to change the direction of their shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, if I see some talent or if I see something big, I'm like, I'm gonna believe. I just think it's up to them to turn that corner. I don't necessarily be like they can't do it. I don't ever want to say that about anybody.
But you got to look at it though, man. These mental fights, these mental breakdowns. It's not like nothing physical. I mean, it's either weak ass chin, or you mentally weak that'll cause a motherfucker to give up on you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Dirrell and Harrison is, mentally weak, man, or whatever it is. That's why motherfuckers ain't giving it no more chances, bro. Nothing else.
Bro.
Yeah, probably same thing with AB too. He fall in the same ladder.
I'll tell you what, nigga. I write fighters off to the point where I add them niggas to my taxes at the beginning of the year, nigga. That's how
he got a lot of Michigan motherfuckers on there.
Hell yeah, nigga. I got a lot of write-offs, nigga. Shit, over the as long as I've been watching boxing, I got a bunch of write-offs, nigga. The first one, Jeff Lacey. That I made a lot of money on Jeff Lacey, bitch ass. But look here, I got one more, and we gonna move on. I got one more though. Just look at, oh my God, Jonathan Banks. You know what I'm saying, dog? That bet, that rematch with garbage ass Seth Mitchell is probably one of the most frustrating money losses I've ever had in my gambling career, nigga. It was an easy win for Jonathan Banks. Easy win. Beat him the first time easily, right? Goes in there and gets thoroughly outclassed by a football player. I was like, these Detroit niggas, dog. I can't do it with these fucking Detroit niggas. It almost got to the point where I thought the fight was fixed, my nigga.
It was, man. It was. I'm sorry to say, but it was.
What you love about Detroit so much, Twan, man? What's your connection with Detroit, man? Cause I ain't. There's something going on in my head.
The rap production, man. We got Black Milk. We got Apollo. You know what I'm saying? Apollo Brown. I mean, we got some great shit happening in Detroit.
I'm an Alabamian, so I'm just Deontay Wilder, man. I don't know about these other niggas out here. These Detroit niggas and these other motherfuckers, man. That's what we need to focus on.
You stay down there milking them pigs, nigga. I'm sorry.
Nah.
Fried bologna sandwiches.
Hey, 2K know about the fried bologna sandwiches. Don't let that motherfucking health tip.
Fried bologna with eggs. Fried bologna with eggs.
Y'all niggas don't know nothing about putting a slit in the center to pop.
We do, bro. They curl up. They curl up.
Shit.
Look,
what you know about the fried bologna with the red hots?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
What you know about?
Yeah.
The fried bologna with the scrambled egg sandwich, nigga.
Hey, we know. Hey, it's a South thing, bro. We all know about that.
Yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying? We definitely know. But we're gonna definitely go into this next topic. We got Miguel Cotto. Of course, he's fighting this month against Yoshihiro Kamagai. But for his final pro fight, you know, he's looking to go out with a bang against David Lemieux. It's looking like that fight is in the works.
He gonna go out all right.
Is this a fight that he needs to take for his final pro belt, man? I mean, David Lemieux is a real. David Lemieux is actually probably a 158 fighter, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's always struggled getting to 160, so he's probably a real 168 fighter. And Cotto, if you let him tell you, you know, am I 160? Am I in middleweight? You know?
They're gonna get a catch with a 155. You gonna drain the fuck out of David Lemieux. That's the only way
Lemieux can't make no 155. So I'm like, they ain't even got no chance of making the fight if that's the case.
Let's be real though. What has Cotto taken a challenge since he's been talking about his little farewell to, other than Canelo? Who has he really fought? After he beat Sergio Martinez, who did he really fight after that? Jose Canelo.
Shit. Sergio Martinez don't count. That nigga was in a wheelchair.
Thank you. Yeah.
They shot that nigga up before he came to the ring.
Nigga, they did that nigga like motherfucking Nancy Kerrigan, nigga, before the fight.
Hey,
it was
why me?
Kerrigan.
Why me?
Yeah.
Oh, that brings back memories. I was a kid. I was laughing at that shit.
I mean, personally, I don't know. I think this fight is probably a lot of smoke and mirrors right now, but it is an in-house fight, so that's why I'm kind of giving it some credence on the show tonight. If this is his farewell fight, how do y'all see it ending for him? I'll start off with
him looking up, him on his back looking up to the ceiling.
Pretty much.
He gonna get his ass knocked the fuck out. You thought Curtis Stevenson got knocked out. He gonna kill Cotto.
It's a dumb fight, in my opinion. I don't know.
Unanimous agreement amongst us? You can't get
I don't know. You know why? Because Cotto's last fight, he looked good. He looked good against Canelo. I like that Cotto. I thought he lost. You know, there's a lot of people out there that Cotto beat.
Yeah, he never pushed it. He never pushed it. That's why. I mean, if he would have did just a little bit more, he definitely could have won. But I think he played it extremely safe in that fight.
But he looked good, though. He didn't look bad. He looked good. He looked good enough, in my opinion. Now, this is
2 years ago.
When did this fight happen? 2015?
Yeah, November 2015.
Okay. So 2 years ago, I was saying, after the Canelo fight, that Cotto would look good against one of the top 154-pounders. Like, at that time, Vanez Martirosyan. You know, Jarrett Hurd was coming up. He wasn't one of the top ones. But even today, I think he could fight a Jarrett Hurd, you know. At that time, Jermell Charlo, not Jamal, Jermell. You know what I'm saying? Especially Jermell that's with Derek James. Shout out to my man Derek, but I like him better with Ronnie. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he looked good enough to contend with those guys against Canelo. But he's on a 2-year layoff, basically, chasing money fights, dumbass fights. Juan Manuel Marquez, Tim Bradley. I mean, Yuriorkis Gamboa. I mean, come on, man.
For real?
Yeah, he tried to get Gamboa to move up to 154, and one of Gamboa's managers said that they talked to HBO about making this fight, and an HBO representative agreed to it. It's just that Gamboa was like, shit, nigga, I don't know if I can make 154.
He weighed 155, 150, 180. Out of the shit. What do you mean you can't make it?
Yeah, shit. You talking about a nigga going from 135 to 154. The nigga had never fought past. I had looked at it a long time ago when I made a video on this. He had never fought past like 139 or something like that in his career. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that was a bullshit discussion that they had. Now Cotto went back and was like, no, that fight was never on the table, but the HBO executive had already spilled the beans and said, yeah, it was on the table. So I mean, he tried to get dumbass fights, and you know, it contributed to his 2-year fucking layoff. To where now it's like, well, damn, nigga, you done aged. We don't know how you gonna look now. Basically, we hit the restart button on your fucking ass. You should have just fought right after Canelo, right?
Diva ass motherfucker.
Yeah. So he gonna beat Kamagai garbage ass. You know what I'm saying? And David Lemieux, if he look good against Kamagai, if he looks remotely like the Cotto that fought Canelo, I think he might give David Lemieux a little bit of trouble, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
I'm over Kamagai knock his ass out.
If he looks like shit, that's not gonna happen. Anyway,
I mean,
if he
that's
looks
the
like
thing
shit,
about it is stylistically, it's a good comparison because you know Kamagai is going to come with the pressure and the output. You know, so I think
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he fought Margarito again for a third time. I mean, it sounds crazy, but shit.
Hell no. Margarito.
Yeah, he'll pick that fight.
Canelo and shit. He's trying to fight Canelo. I don't know why. It ain't gonna happen. But
he's gonna lose to Carson Jones anyway. But
yeah, he might lose to Carson Jones. Yep. But I think Cotto, if he looks good against Kamagai, I think he could definitely bring a fight to David Lemieux. But I don't think this is a stupid ass fight. If you're trying to make a exit fight, why not take on one of the best? why are you fighting David Lemieux? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man.
But I mean, David Lemieux is actually considered, because I mean, people actually will have David Lemieux as one of the better middleweights, though. So I'm like,
one of the better punching. What are the better punching middleweights?
David Lemieux's name is nothing. Okay, you're better off fighting. If you're gonna fight David Lemieux, you're better off fighting Demetrius Andrade. You know, Jermell Charlo, Jamal
Jacobs
Charlo.
or Jacobs.
Jacobs, yeah. David Lemieux's name is shit. You might as well fight Billy Ho. At least that nigga got a fucking title. You know what I'm saying? You could be
David
a
Lemieux not a good fighter, bro.
You could be a 5-time champion. You could tie Amanda Serrano because she clipped your bitch ass as the first Puerto Rican with 4 titles and 4 weight classes. She got 5 in 5 weight classes, nigga. Shit, fight fucking Billy Ho. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's I don't know who the fuck is talking to Cotto. I think it's his wife. I don't know who it is. Whoever's advising this nigga, dog, terrible decision making over the last 2 years, man. Straight up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what was really the intention or what was thought as far as joining Golden Boy. I mean, it's been noted that he lost out on money in the Rock Nation deal. They owe him money supposedly for, you know, Canelo fights and other shit. So, I mean, that didn't pan out the way it was supposed to, and, yeah, you're just trying to salvage the best of it, I guess, you know, just to ride it out. But,
yeah,
I mean, I think this Kamagai fight is definitely going to be indicative of what we'll see in the Lemieux fight. You know, similar stylistically, susceptible to fucking just being out jabbed, you know what I'm saying, more than anything, if they just can't out pressure you. So, I mean, we'll definitely see how that goes. I think Lemieux, as far as just being the bigger guy, I don't know if that will plan out into their fight. Because, like I said, I think he's actually really a 168 fighter. He struggles to make middleweight. So,
right. A 168 or 150? What the hell? 168?
168, yeah. I think he's really a
trash ass, man.
Yeah.
I don't like David Lemieux, man. He trash.
He should go to 168. Be honest with you, he has a better chance of becoming a champion there. Be honest with you.
Yeah. He got a better chance of getting knocked out, too.
Stylistically, yeah. I mean, I think Lemieux's chin is better than people think. You know, fucking Triple G didn't fucking get his ass out like they're like knock him out, and stop. You know,
he put that nigga down. He put that motherfucker down though. So that tells me he go up 8 more pounds, he gonna get put down.
Yeah.
I mean, the Triple G has power that people think will translate the, you know, fucking even 2 divisions. 175.
No, I don't believe in that. I don't believe that shit. That's a myth too. But it was good enough to put.
All right.
That's his trainer's myth. His trainer created that myth.
All right. So we'll get into our next topic. We're not going to go deep into them. Just a brief mention on them. We had Anthony Dirrell injured, so David Benavidez is fighting Ronald Gavril for the 168 WBC title now. And we also had the Mickey Bay and Peterson fight canceled that we had mentioned last week, so we just wanted to put that out there.
They got
if
canceled.
anything, it got canceled. Yeah, that's just done.
Peterson got hurt.
No, it was
Bay. No, it's Mickey Bay.
Mickey Bay got hurt.
My bad.
Okay. Yeah. But I think if we do touch on anything, I want to probably want to go into the David Benavidez one. Not necessarily the fight, but as far as Dirrell, is he done with this pullout? Like, is that never shot? No more shots at 168 for him for a title with pulling out?
Nah, he'll get enough.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a personal injury, like the shit Flanagan pulled. Like when you know that, you know that ass whooping coming.
Yep.
Man, look, he was gonna lose, man. I ain't missing words no more. Fuck it, man. I like the reels, but whatever, man. That motherfucker's gonna lose. And shit, he fucked himself out of that shit, man. He fucked himself out of that shit trying to change shit at the last minute. That's why Callum Smith, whatever his name is, went to the fucking tournament instead. So I wouldn't be surprised if that motherfucker a fucking alternate in the fucking tournament just because he realized he fucked up and You know,
I don't
screw
even
himself
look
out
at
of focus.
that WBC diamond shit as a real belt, man. That ain't no real belt. I mean, David didn't.
Well, it wouldn't have been like that if motherfucker Dirrell would have just stuck with the contract he signed. Motherfuckers be trying to be A-listers that ain't trying to pull A-lister moves and ain't even a C-lister. You know what I'm saying?
Where did they get this from? Anthony Dirrell is a B- level fighter at best. You know what I'm saying? His brother is way better than him. You know, I always thought that. You know what I mean? Like, you could tell Anthony Dirrell has this warped ass mindset based on the goddamn interview that me and Big Cool gave him, you know, a couple months back about Callum Smith. This nigga literally sat there on the interview and told us that he felt he beat Badou Jack, which is highly ridiculous. Or let me say it like my man Dwyer would say, ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? There's no way in hell this motherfucker beat Badou Jack. I had the nigga winning maybe 4 rounds. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? I got to go back and watch and make sure. Might be 3 fucking rounds. No way. So you could tell, you know, his mentality just based off of that comment. And the nigga had the nerve to cut me off and say, nah, nigga, hold up. Nigga, you talking too much. Badou Jack didn't beat me. I was like, damn, I didn't even know how to come back into the conversation after hearing that shit.
Yeah,
you know
you got sensitive.
Yeah. I was like, hold up, wait, what? But I mean, Anthony Dirrell, you know, I like the Dirrells. You know what I'm saying? I like Andre. Put it that way. Anthony's all right. That nigga Willie still got to see me in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? But
put your money up.
You know what I'm saying? But Andre's a stand-up dude. I really like Andre, man, and it's a testament to the type of fighters that I followed in the past. You know what I'm saying? I followed the right fighters, evidently, in his case. You know what I'm saying? So, Anthony just dodged a bona fide ass whooping twice. He would have lost to Callum, and he would have lost to David. You know what I'm saying? So, personal leg injury, nigga. Matter of fact, I'm going to start using that shit at work. I can't go to this meeting tomorrow due to a personal leg injury. Fuck it. They getting away with it.
Or maybe it's just Michigan, man. Maybe it's that Michigan shit going on, man.
Yeah.
It's that water.
That motherfucker was at Clarissa Shields' fight. He could have been training for the fucking David Benavidez fight, man. He ain't hurt. That motherfucker goddamn just said, fuck it, man. It ain't worth it. I don't want no smoke.
Yep.
All right, so we gonna go into our next topic, man. I mean, I was kind of wasn't sure if I even needed to go into this one because just the shit that's been around this name in just the past couple weeks, man. You can't say nothing about this motherfucker without it being called hater shit now. And I think it's pretty funny because it's almost like a direct reflection of shit we've seen in the past with other fighters, but it's being reversed. So it is kind of funny to me. But as far as this topic, man, Vasyl Lomachenko has an average of 728,000 fighters on ESPN in his fight. I mean, a lot of people say the numbers are skewed because of the shit that happened with the Hall of Fame and all of that, but nevertheless, and, you know, yeah, exactly. Nevertheless, when Spence fought on NBC after the Olympics, what was mentioned was sustainability, and the people that stayed watching throughout, not just tuning in immediately, but stayed watching.
Yep.
That says 728K. Nobody stayed watching after the NFL Hall of Fame induction apparently.
Yo, real talk, B. There's some niggas at my job that was I was talking boxing with them a couple days ago, and they were like, yeah, you know, it's just I wasn't real, you know, detailed about boxing. These motherfuckers below casuals, you know what I'm saying? But they're like, yeah, I remember boxing was on like 3 days a week or something like that on ESPN. I was like, yeah, you know, yeah, Wednesday night fights, you have Friday night fights on ESPN. Yeah, man, I remember, you know, turning in the ESPN, I would see a boxing match on. I was like, yeah, there was actually a boxing match on this weekend on Saturday on ESPN. They had no idea. They had no idea. That tells you That's a testament to why the viewership was so low. Niggas didn't even know boxing was on free TV this weekend, bro. This past weekend. So, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, I'll actually allude to this in another segment, I guess. But the fact is, I mean, 728K, you know, if this was another faction involved, it would have been murdered and put out there majorly.
Oh, yeah.
I think the website that put out this one is just doing it to look credible. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to put out the name or none of that shit. We don't. I don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? We kind of know what we're talking about. But the site that put this out, I think they did it really just to save face and look credible. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't think it was any attempt to necessarily do anything that they would do against another faction. Let me get you guys' thoughts on this viewership of Lomachenko and then all the other shit that comes in, you know, as far as Bob Arum and the Muhammad Ali comparisons and, you know, just the whole boost they put behind them. You know, we got people saying that, you know, everybody's hating against Lomachenko. I mean, I think we kind of have a different understanding of boxing compared to most people, which is why we vibe differently.
A better one.
Yeah, you know, but where is this whole stigma of, you know, Vasil Lomachenko haters coming from? I mean, when...
Give me that. Give it to me, bro. Give it to me, nigga.
Yeah,
Tag
go
him,
ahead.
tag him in. Tag him for the hot tag.
No, hold on.
Yo,
Hold on. You gotta drink this egg shake before you get in the game.
I was just getting ready to say, Twan, I just felt an egg rage without eggs, nigga. I don't know how that shit happened.
Oh, shit. This nigga about to power up.
Bruh.
Super
Y'all
fan.
niggas know why motherfuckers are saying we hating? Because Vasil Lomachenko is the new great white hope. You know what I'm saying? Triple G got his ass whooped by Daniel Jacobs. Motherfuckers know this. You know what I'm saying? There's cats that got Triple G winning the fight, but this is the thing. Triple G was an unstoppable force, meaning nobody could make it a close fight against Triple G, right? Including Daniel Jacobs. I mean, here, Daniel Jacobs is the guy that in the media previous to the fight, he was showing all the signs of ducking the nigga, right? I want $18 trillion, you know what I'm saying, and all this other bullshit. He was showing all the obvious signs of ducking Triple G, which made the Hopers, it added more fuel to the fire for the Hopers, right? So when Daniel Jacobs goes in there and actually lasts longer than 4 fucking rounds, that really just made Triple G look like he has a chink in his fucking armor. It's actually a very close fight. So they moved off the Triple G bandwagon. I mean, he's kind of on the back burner. Like, they seen him actually look bad in a fight. So they moved away from him and went to Vasil Lomachenko because Sergey Kovalev already got his ass whooped by Andre Ward first time around. Then he got his ass knocked out in the second one. So they all on Vasil Lomachenko. They were looking at Manny Pacquiao like, we might be able to go back to him. He could be our little Filipino hope. But then he got his ass whooped by Jeff Horn. So they really all on fucking Vasil Lomachenko now. So if you say any goddamn thing about Vasil Lomachenko that's not a positive, short of sucking this nigga's ball sack, you're going to be called a hater. Bruh, the video I put out about Vasil Lomachenko and Naoya and Noye was 100% factual, dog. You couldn't refute nothing. You know what I'm saying? Tell me why that video has the most dislikes of any video I've ever generated.
I seen that shit too.
Yeah. Like, I have more likes than dislikes, right? But it's almost even. Normally on my videos, there's probably like, shit, nigga, like, for every 30 likes, there's 1 dislike, possibly. Something of that nature, that ratio. Nigga, this shit is like every...
1-to-1?
It's like 4-to-1, fam. For every 4 likes is 1 dislike. It's very close there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking, and it's fine. You know, I don't mind that because a dislike actually promotes my video as well. So I don't mind that. But I'm really just looking at why is it that people listen to this video? Because I didn't dog Lomachenko not one bit. I actually said Lomachenko brings a dynamic into the ring that's very similar to Roy Jones Jr. athleticism and Manny Pacquiao footwork. Dog, that's a major compliment for a fighter that's only had 10 professional fights, right? And I said that in the same fucking video, dog. But they still only heard me being a hater. I had to tell niggas, yo, go down about 10 videos. I made a video about Vasyl Lomachenko being the best 130-pound fighter and easily one of the top 10 pound-for-pound fighters in the sport. It was like 10 videos ago. So how the fuck am I hating? Nigga say, yo, you're contradicting yourself. How, nigga? Everything I'm saying is factual. What am I saying that's not facts about Naoya and Vasyl Lomachenko's resume? Nothing. Everything's facts. Nothing wrong with what I'm saying. And nobody can really refute. They can look at maybe some mistakes I made. Like I said, Adrian Hernandez was on 7 title defenses, but in reality he was on 4, which is still better than anybody on Vasyl Lomachenko's resume. None of them niggas was on multiple title defenses that he beat. You know what I'm saying? But they look at little knickknacks like that and pick them out. But they still can't tell me that Vasyl Lomachenko's resume was better or is better than Naoya Inoue, Andre Ward's, or hell, even Terence Crawford. The only thing I'm getting is straight, flat-out bullshit remarks like Vasyl Lomachenko, or let me say this. They'll say, Andre Ward, he sucks. He actually lost the first fight against Kovalev, and he cheated in the second fight. I don't even have him on my pound-for-pound list because of that. Dumb shit like that. That's the only thing they can say, bro. So when you got niggas who are fans of fighters and not fans of the fucking sport, that's what you get. Niggas saying anything negative against their favorite fighter that they would, based on our third episode of Social Media's Dumbest Boxing Post. Bernard, you remember what that nigga said he would do for Triple G?
What'd he say?
Motherfucker said he sucked Triple G's dick. Okay?
Wow.
This was a post. This was a post. They'll do the same thing for Vasyl Lomachenko. And that's exactly why we have this fucking problem, man. I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
I mean, I go on the Facebook and check certain groups last week or, even this week after the fight, you know what I'm saying? And I see videos about the Lomachenko hate is real. Like, from multiple people that I talk to all the time, I'm just like, man, here we go fucking again. Now, when it applied to the other side, y'all motherfuckers in that shit to say.
Yeah, brother.
I'm like, there's so many. Yeah, I was like, this is an interesting parallel here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's really a situation where in life, you know what I'm saying, you got niggas around you, right? And some shit pop off, and niggas act accordingly. You're able to come to the conclusion of who your real friends are. Same with this boxing shit. Some shit pop off, niggas start acting a certain way, start saying certain shit. You realize how much boxing knowledge these niggas really have, and you realize how much of a fan of a fighter these motherfuckers really are. Those are the guys you want to stay away from.
Definitely agreed. Big cool. Bernard, anything you guys want to add on to this one as far as the supposed Lomachenko hate?
Man, look.
To me, I think to me, I'm like, for a guy that's getting as much push as he's getting between HBO and fucking, well, I won't even say ESPN because I don't think they've been doing a good job in pushing the shit they're doing right now, the caliber of fights they've had just recently. But the guy he's been getting a big push, man, and this is just his 10th fight.
Yep.
And I mean, you got to think of the shit that other guys have put into the sport before they get any kind of acknowledgement of this nature. So I mean, I just don't like the shit being put out there personally. That's why I want to get you guys' take on that as far as the whole Lomachenko hate being real bit cool. Bernard, anything you guys want to add on this one?
Man,
I think you guys did a good job of breaking it down, but just, I mean, anything y'all want to add, go ahead.
I mean, it's not hate at all. I mean, we all up here, Bo included, we all say that Lomachenko is a very, very skillful fighter, highly skilled. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He got the skill of a top pound-for-pound guy, but the resume is lacking. I mean, what else you want us to say? You want us to just say, you know what, fuck Andre Ward beating Sergey twice, fuck Bud potentially about to unify the whole junior welterweight division, excuse me. You know, fuck Inoue doing what he's doing, and just say, you know what, skills alone, we just gonna annoy Vasyl Lomachenko, that guy. No, you gotta. He got the skills, but no substance on his resume. Yeah, he beat Nicholas Walters, but the motherfucker was coming off of a fucking year layoff. You know, no excuse to quit, but still, it's a lot of guys out there that want some smoke with fucking Vasyl Lomachenko, and for whatever reason, that motherfucker don't hear nobody. But I mean, I ain't even watched the fight. I'm honest. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch the fight. I wasn't about to stay up to no damn 11 o'clock to watch him fight that fucking type of fight. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't look good.
Yeah, I mean, you want motherfuckers to watch your stay up past midnight or whatever, fight somebody credible. I don't stay up I don't care who you is. If you fighting a scrub and you main event, I'm not staying up and watching that fight. I'll catch it on the replay because
I mean, and then you got the Matrix shit, and I look at the post-fight pictures of Lomachenko. I'm like, Matrix against this motherfucker? Like, really?
Man, he a victim waiting, bro. I'm telling you, man. Salido didn't beat him by accident because that was his first. Maybe it was his second fight or whatever it was. But he's beatable. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to get his issue when he step up in competition. You know what I'm saying? But let Bob Arum compare, you know, him to Muhammad Ali. He did that to Floyd. He's going to do that with Shakur Stevenson. He signed Andre Ward. He'll do it with him and so forth and so on, man. You got to take it with a grain of salt and know that shit. Motherfuckers hate the brother but love the other. Simple as that.
Yeah,
man, good point.
Good way to put it.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to say, man, it ain't nothing to where we hate on Lomachenko's skill set or nothing like that. We definitely think he's as talented as advertised. But the thing is that we say is, you know, just the business practice side of it, man. You know, you guys got to look into that kind of shit. But with that said, man, you know, Chris Henderson put it out there, you know, even a couple weeks ago that, you know, it is looking realistic that Rigo and Loma is going to happen in, you know, December of this year, man.
December 9th.
Yeah, so, I mean, shout out on that, Chris Henderson, Four Corners of Boxing Talk. But at the same time, this is something that will give the kind of credibility that, you know, if you guys want to talk that shit and annoy them, yes, this is the kind of fight that he needs. Walters that was active, yes, I could give him credit for. I'm not going to sit up there and kiss his ass over no fucking fighter that's been out for a year struggling for a paycheck living in Panama with a new kid. Like, I'm thinking realistically this motherfucker wanted a check. You know what I'm saying? He didn't come in here. You know what I'm saying? You didn't give him a chance to win because you sat his ass down for a whole year. If he really wanted it to be competitive, people don't say this shit. So
you know what, Swan? You know, me and my ex-co-host, we used to talk about this shit all the time. It was the big three, you know, Vasyl Lomachenko, Nicholas Walters, and Guillermo Rigondeaux, right? And I used to tell him, I've always thought Vasyl would beat Nicholas Walters because Nicholas Walters was always flat-footed in the ring, and he's not a counterpuncher on top of that. He's a boxer puncher. That's not the right style to beat Vasyl Lomachenko. So I always told my ex-co-host that, you know, Vasyl would beat Nicholas Walters. But when I seen Nicholas took the fight 3.5 months out, and in an interview, this nigga was literally 170 fucking pounds 3.5 months out, I knew it was going to be a slaughter. There's no way you could drop from, I might be exaggerating, but he was clearly fat. You know what I'm saying? There's no way you can drop an exorbitant amount of weight in a 12-week training camp, right, and still be healthy in a huge fight, a fight of that magnitude, dog. A fight that's going to push you to your utmost limits. No fucking way, no how. You know what I'm saying? So it was obvious that he was going to get slaughtered. Go ahead, cool.
Let me jump in, and then leave it to Bob Arum to ruin a fight, whether, you know, it don't get made or it get made at the wrong time, whether he's punishing somebody or whatever it is. So Bob Arum, man, as great as promoter he is, he always give us fights that leave more to be desired. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no way that fight with Lomachenko and Walter should have took place when it did. You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, it's just I don't know, man. It is what it is with Bob, man. Like fucking Twan say, in order that motherfucker gonna have to die for Lomachenko to fucking face somebody who is on his level. Simple as that.
I mean, let's just hope these talks with Rigo are real. Even then, like, you got to think Rigo.
That's just one fight. He got to keep it going.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
Guy jump in fucking 2 weight classes fight you. I'm not even gonna do that. But I'm just showing. I mean, the heart. You know, motherfuckers got heart. Motherfuckers want that work from this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers want that work.
Cut that check and you get that fight, man.
And honestly, he is as talented as they say, because I can't necessarily say a guy at 130 or 135 that could just outbox him necessarily. Like the style that go against them. I mean, Mikey Garcia, you know what I'm saying? I forgot about that. That's probably the lone guy. But I'm saying, like, stylistically, we know what is going to be his fucking kryptonite already because we've seen it in his fucking second pro fight, and it's not going to change.
No,
he's not going to see those kind of fighters unless he goes to 147 or 140. I mean, there's only one guy at 140 that even fights like that, and that's Adrian Granados. So, I mean, like, he has a clear path at a lot of shit stylistically, and we won't really see him tested unless he puts himself out there for it. Rigo is the only guy that could do it within this range, and Mikey Garcia. But are those fights going to get made? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Easter could do it if he developed more, but that's just another story.
Well, it's not going to happen, man. Vasil is what he is. I think he is what he is right now.
Yeah, man. I agree. He's a guy, just like Roy Jones Jr. was what he was. Roy never got better. You know what I'm saying? He was still the same motherfucker until he got old, right? That's what's going to happen with Vasil. And this is one of my biggest criticisms because the guys that I'm more drawn to are the guys that are cerebral in the ring. You know, I'm a chess player, you know, outside the boxing ring. I play real motherfucking chess. You know what I'm saying? And I enjoy watching fighters make the correct chess move, you know, in the ring, which could be, you know, synonymous with the chessboard, right? Or it can be symbolic for a chessboard. Those are the type of fighters that I like, that I respect the most. Vasil Lomachenko is a guy that relies more on his athleticism than his actual IQ. You know what I'm saying? He's not a dumb fighter. He is a smart fighter. He does smart things in the ring, but he allows his athleticism to take over more than his IQ. Case in point, why he was consistently getting hit with left and right hooks by Miguel Mariaga. The funny fucking thing is, these Lomachenko dick pullers over there literally saying the same shit that they said about Gennady Golovkin when Golovkin fought Willie Monroe and he was getting hit to the body. He was getting touched on the inside. They said, oh, Lomachenko did it on purpose. He had to make it a good fight. I'm like, look at this nigga's face, bro. Like, niggas don't. This is how you could tell a motherfucker's been in a ring and who hasn't been in a ring and who has. A nigga that's been in a ring is not gonna sit there and tell you, yeah, that motherfucker went in there and got hit on purpose, dog, for the fans.
Her business.
You know what I'm saying? But a dumb bitch ass fan that literally lusts over another man's success, that motherfucker will tell you, yeah, he's Superman, he's Clark Kent, there is
listen to the words.
Lomachenko. Yeah. It's sickening, dog. And you know, like going back to what I was saying, studying Lomachenko, it'll be the pressure style, like you said, Twan. It'll also be the counterpunching style. Lomachenko thrives off of overwhelming his opponent. Well, if you got an opponent in the ring that has excellent lateral movement, who can fight on his foot, and he waits for his opponent to open up with his aggressiveness, and he's able to counter him consistently because of his aggressiveness. Oh yeah, that's gonna beat the shit out of Vasil Lomachenko. And there's two guys that can do that: Mikey Garcia and motherfucking greatest nigga at 122 right now, the motherfucking boogeyman, Guillermo Rigondeaux, who I think slaughters Vasil Lomachenko. That's why they don't want.
I hope he beat that motherfucker ass, man. So these motherfuckers can shut the fuck up about how great Lomachenko is, man. Like, I ain't making no secret.
2K made a good point. Somebody that can match his footwork. Rigondeaux is definitely that dude. I mean, and as far as countering, timing, intellect, I mean, yeah, that ain't something they want to see. Yeah, that ain't something they really want to see. They don't want to see it as much as people try. And I think the thing that's sad is, and this whole thing about Lomachenko coming up, it's been done to discredit fucking Rigo because he has pretty much close to the same amount of fights. And this is because motherfuckers was actually ducking him. Ain't nobody fucking duck Loma literally the way, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, that nobody wants to point that shit out that motherfuckers left the division to avoid this.
Hell yeah, still leaving the division.
Rigo's at fault. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, I mean, it's one of the weirdest things in the sport. And the way that the attention is drawn into it or the angles that are put on it, it's fucking disturbing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I mean, but it is what it is, man. We'll go ahead and go into our next topic, which is Bernard. Fucking the Boston Award of the Week, man. I know you got something interesting for us this week, so break it down, man.
I'm gonna give this award is going to a trainer. I'm not gonna say I'm hurt to give this to this person, but I'm tired of this. When I see this comparison, I'm gonna go and get straight to the point. I'm giving the award to Robert Garcia. He said that Mikey Garcia could beat Floyd Mayweather Jr. right now.
Yeah, okay. All right.
See,
and I can beat Anthony Joshua.
Right.
Damn.
Right. It was when I read the article. It comes back to me. It's like just because you beat Adrian Broner, I guess because Broner is supposed to be what's the word, like the protege or a copycat of Floyd Mayweather.
Great value, Floyd.
Right. That's who he values Floyd.
Kirkland. Hill Country Fair, Floyd.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
He's supposed to be this guy that's supposed to. Is that y'all comparing this after he beats Broner, Mikey could beat Floyd? Cut it. Let's just cut it. Look, I understand Mayweather got this fight coming up that we choose not to speak about, but let's be honest. When Maidana fought Broner, yeah, he won. But when Maidana fought Floyd twice, Floyd beat him two different ways. What makes you think Mikey Garcia is going to be able to beat Floyd at this, even at the age of 40?
The age of 40? That's
at the age of 40.
Especially when we see points that Adrian Broner could have took his ass out in. So, I mean.
Yeah, we saw when Broner went to the body, it was effective. But we understand Broner doesn't let his hands go. Floyd does. Well,
Robert Garcia just talking.
Right. So then also there's that hate, that hate they got for each other or whatever. So, yeah, that was some fucked up shit. The citizens say it was not fucked up, it was some fuckery. So
what did he say? He too strong? Didn't he say he was too strong for him?
Yeah. That was the funniest thing to me about it was that.
That power didn't translate to 140. It definitely won't translate to 147. So.
Dude,
I mean,
how the fuck is Mikey Garcia too strong for Floyd when Floyd has fought niggas like Oscar De La Hoya at 154, Canelo at 154,
Shane at 147.
Shane Mosley. You got Marcos Maidana, who was a big 147. He couldn't make 154, but he was still big at 147. I mean, all these guys were stronger and bigger than Floyd. Mikey Garcia is actually smaller than Floyd. Come on, Robert. Cut it out, bro. Cut it out.
All right. So, did you have a second one you wanted to touch on? I thought you might have had two that you wanted to do this week, Bernard, or was that?
Last week I spoke on the Andrade, Lara, WBA situation. Steve King came out with an article of talking about how Andrade is sitting there waiting for a fight with Lara, hopefully to get the fight in December. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Lara's fighting in October, right? Against Terrell Gosha, right?
He's sparring. That's a fucking play fight.
Sparring. Damn.
Here's my thing, though, right? You're going to wait till September for the WBA to hopefully make a push for a fight to happen in December, which I highly doubt. That fight might happen early next year if the WBA orders it. If. So in the meantime, between time, what the fuck is you going to do? As I was talking with you earlier, Twine, I said, as much as I hate what Laura's doing, at least he's staying active.
Yeah.
Andrade, on the other hand, you're letting your skills go to waste.
He pissing me the fuck off, man.
And it's gonna cut. It's gonna show if y'all do fight. You should have been more active than you should have been just as active, not more, than Laura because you're younger than him. You should have took advantage of that. Hell, I don't even care if you give Colkay a fucking rematch. Fight somebody. Don't wait. Build your name up. You get the fuckery of the war too for that bullshit you pulling. So
this nigga, Andrade act like he got some fucking CTE. This motherfucker ain't the brightest. He goddamn about. Man, this motherfucker dumb, bro. Like I know I'm on one tonight.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you raise niggas in Rhode Island. We ain't supposed to be out there.
Oh, hell yeah.
What the fuck is a nigga doing in Rhode Island? But
damn, I know. Damn, this nigga's not originally from Rhode Island, but he went to college in Rhode Island. Look what happened to Lamar Odom, man. That nigga he was out there in Rhode Island for 4 years, or 2 years in college, and this nigga fucked up in the head now over some bitch. See how they do them niggas in Rhode Island, man? I'm telling you, bro.
Andre, man, that motherfucker, they say in negotiations supposed to happen next month for a fight. I'm like, bro, if your ass don't fight nobody now, bro, just fight somebody. Somebody, bro, because this motherfucker the dumb.
He's throwing it out there that nobody wants to fight him, but based off of the fight with Cool K, I don't think anybody would be avoiding him necessarily.
Okay, you want to go fight this nigga, man? You want to fight this nigga so he can have no excuse? Nobody want to fight him, man. Just to get this nigga some rounds.
Andre?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
man. Look here, man. That's my nigga, man. I don't want to knock that nigga out. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I like that.
You knock some sense into him.
Well, nah, man, Demetrius, we all hope for the best for you. Just stop fucking wasting your damn talent in this time, man. Inactivity is like, what do they say? Sleep is the cousin of death? Well, shit, that's the equivalent of inactivity in boxing. So, get your ass in there against somebody. You pretty much fucked off the investment that Showtime was ready to put in you after the Willie Nelson fight, to where they ain't even trying to push hard for you for nothing. So, that is a personal issue. That is nothing nobody else is doing to you. Man, so I guess we're going to go into our next topic, which is, we got a preview of the fights coming up this week, and we're going to start off with the one that's actually happening probably about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning over in, what is it, in Tokyo? It's going to be broadcast on BN Sports, so you will be able to see this one if you have BN Sports SBO on tape delay. Oh, shit, it's not on tape delay until the fucking weekend. So, yeah, we're going to be watching this one on fucking YouTube and something else tomorrow. That's it, man. This is actually a fight that I think is going under radar unless you're an actual big avid fan of the sport, and all 17 as 2K advocates on a lot of our shows. We got Shinsuke Yamanaka making the 12th or 13th defense of this title against the dangerous Louis Neri. Man, this is actually a fight that could be a barn burner fight of the year kind of thing, man, and it's going under radar just because, motherfuckers is lacking in the knowledge. So, we're going to go ahead and get into the breakdown. I'm going to let 2K do his thing, man. I've been going back and forth on this one like 50-50, 60-40 type of shit, you know what I'm saying, the last couple of days. So I'll go ahead and let 2K do his thing.
Yeah, I got I'm with you on that, man. Only reason why I'm 60-40 Yamanaka is because Yamanaka has proven himself, man, at 118. I mean, he's proven to be a wrecking ball there, man. Nobody's really fucking with this cat. And I have the utmost respect for him for how he did in San Momentum twice. A lot of cats thought he lost. He might have lost the first fight, but he sure as hell put an exclamation point on that second fight. You know what I'm saying? So, but Neri, man, dude is you know, it's funny. This is a testament to, how do I say, get him while he's still ripe, right? Get him while he's still green. Because I'm not calling Louis Neri green. I don't want that taken out of context. But compared to Shinsuke Yamanaka, right, given his age, right, Yamanaka's experience is way more than Louis Neri. And Neri is only 22 years old. You know what I'm saying? He started his career just 5 years ago. Even though he's 23-0, he just started 5 years ago.
Yeah, and I think 2K is alluding to the experience factor against competition when he's talking. Like I said, so I'll go ahead and let him go with that.
Exactly. The guys that he's fought, you know what I'm saying, they have none of them are on the level of the guys that Shinsuke Yamanaka has been putting down in his 13 title defenses. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is what I thought Roman Gonzalez should have did with Naoya Inoue about 2 years ago, right? When everybody was talking about the fights and shit. Naoya was at 115. Roman Gonzalez was getting ready to go up there. He should have took the fight then. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time, Inoue, while he's still an excellent fighter, there was things that he did that Roman Gonzalez could have exploited that would have been able to give him the victory in that fight. And he still would have got the accolades that if he were to win today, it would be the same. You know what I'm saying? He'd get the same exposure. Yamanaka's actually doing he's taking the advice when it comes to Louis Neri. He's a very good fighter. Let me put it this way. A good fighter who has the potential to be a very good fighter, but he wants to take him now so he can go ahead and get that under his belt. He beats Louis Neri. Neri's going to continue on to be a great fighter later on if he doesn't let that loss fuck him over, right? Fuck up his head. But Yamanaka is going to have that win under his belt, much like what Mayweather did to Canelo, right? Took Canelo while he was still a little young, beat the shit out of him. Now Canelo's who he is today, and the only motherfucker to beat him is Floyd Mayweather. That's what I think is going to happen here. I think Shinsuke Yamanaka is going to be a little bit too much for him. And it's not even going to be the skill set. I think Louis Neri might be a little bit more skilled than Yamanaka, but Yamanaka has the edge in IQ, and he has the edge, obviously, in experience. So he's going to be able to do those little intangibles, the things that you can't teach, you can't coach, things that come with being a fucking dominant champion, over the course of however many years this nigga's been held the title. You know what I'm saying? All those little things are going to come into play and is going to take over Louis Neri. Now, one thing I want people to understand is Yamanaka has a 2-inch height advantage and a 3.5-inch reach advantage, I believe. So I expect him to box Louis Neri. Neri's going to be trying to get around that jab. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. It's going to be I'm 60-40 because of the experience factor and the IQ. But, man, Neri is so skilled that maybe experience won't be a problem. Maybe he can get inside. Maybe he could hit Yamanaka with something real nice, something real fresh. You know what I'm saying? Possibly get him out of there. Possibly hurt him to the point where he has Yamanaka gun shy. Never seen that before, but it's a possibility. Yamanaka is 34 years old, has him gun shy, and he's able to take rounds that Yamanaka probably should have won. Who knows? But I do got Yamanaka, man. I'm always going to take experience and IQ and dominance over a young green fighter. So I got Yamanaka, man, by 12-round unanimous decision.
All right. Big Cool and Bernard. I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with Luis Neri. I know we talked about Yamanaka quite a bit on our show, so I know y'all have caught some of his fights. But do you guys have any predictions that you guys wanted to put out on this one as well before I go into my little diatribe on it?
Yeah, I'm more familiar with Yamanaka, so I'm going to go with him. Like I said, unanimous decision, man. Man, I got to start watching the lower weights other than the big name guys, but yeah.
I'm going with the big bruh. I'm going with Yamanaka. With that being said, I just want to say this. I think this is a fight that everybody needs to be looking at. You can catch the replay on YouTube, or however you will catch it, please catch it. And I say that because there's a lot. If you want that action fighters, the action fight, because I got Yamanaka in my top 5 pound for pound, top 5. I'm not gonna go through the whole details, but who I got, but he's in my top 5. And I want to speak on one thing, piggyback on something 2K had said earlier about Inouye doing what Lomachenko did. Didn't Yamanaka do the same thing?
Nah, he didn't.
Okay, he got 13.
There's another Japanese fighter that did it recently. Actually, 2, I think. Come to think of it, I just can't think of the names right off the bat. But there was 2 lower weight fighters in Japan that have done it under 2 fights after Inouye. So,
you're talking about Daisuke. Damn, what's his last name? Was it Kenshiro? Kenshiro and God, I can't remember the other, Daisuke Nato or something like that. I gotta look him up. But I know
it's not Nyoka. Ioka. It's not Ioka.
I gotta look him up, man. I can't remember.
But it's definitely another one that's done it recently. So yeah. But I definitely as far as my thoughts on this fight, man. I've gone back and forth of it, man. Like 2K mentioned, Shinsuke Yamanaka is at 34 years old, but he's seen a little bit of everything. But I think, like with Neri, he's kind of different. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a guy that I've seen this fight play out different ways. I've seen Yamanaka being able to set up traps for an overly aggressive Neri. And then I've seen Neri being able to knock, not necessarily knock his block off, but bulldoze him, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've gone back and forth between it, and it is kind of hard for me to even pick now. I kind of hate to go against Yamanaka, man, but I don't know what it is. Like, it's just something I've seen with Neri. Like, I kind of feel like he does it. When you see that guy that feels like he's an unstoppable force right now, that's hungry. Like, Errol Spence going against Kell Brook recently. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I kind of got that kind of feeling with Luis Neri going into this, man, and I can't necessarily go against it. It's hard for me to go against it when I get those kind of feelings about fighters that, just had the feeling they can't be denied at the time. So I'm picking Neri in the upset, man. It's hard for me to do. Yamanaka's proven. It's just something about Neri. He's actually a guy that cuts a lot to get to the weight, so he's physically stronger than Yamanaka. I don't know if Yamanaka is going to be able to hurt him the same way he's done other fighters, even though he's put out a lot of guys out the division. Higher echelon guys. Man, I just something in there. He got me wanting to pick him, man. I don't know what it is. He just got that look like he can't be denied right now.
Yamanaka has another thing. You just kind of alluded to it without saying it. Yamanaka has excellent punch placement, my nigga. Nigga, that motherfucker can put a punch exactly where he wants it to go, bruh.
It's going to be a fight where I think he needs to set traps for Neri. And, I don't know if I've seen I think he's an intellectual fighter, but I don't think it's the point to where he's consistently setting traps on pressure fighters. But we'll see, man. But I definitely think that's something he's going to have to implement for a guy like Neri in this one. But definitely a fight everybody needs to be tuned into. It should definitely be getting more pickup, or at least more people talking about it. But in the aftermath of it, I think once people actually see the replay and stuff like that, they'll have more respect and appreciation for it. With that said, go into the. Go ahead.
Hold up, Twan. I got a little tidbit. This nigga Yamanaka has been champion longer than Louis Neri has been a professional fighter.
Yeah, since 2011, right?
Yeah. And Neri's his debut was in 2012. That's fucking insane, man. That's insane.
Yeah. The fact that Yamanaka is relatively unknown outside of guys that are really into this shit. You know what I'm saying? As far as watching the full 17 is crazy. Like crazy talented dude, crazy talented. But we're going to go into the next card of the night. A lot of big fighters on the card, not necessarily big fights, but we'll just go over just the rundown of some of the guys on this card on ESPN on Saturday night. We got Mike Yes Indeed Reed, Nicholas Walters making his return to the ring. We got Dylan White making his U.S. debut. An 8-rounder, Brian Jennings making his debut at Top Rank in a comeback, first fight in like 2 years, close to 2 years. Yeah. Mike Alvarado, Shakur Stevenson, big up. He's gonna be making his third professional fight in this one. The next up and comer at 175 that a lot of people believe is the next big thing. Alexander Gvozdyk will be fighting Craig Baker in the co-main event, televised. Then, of course, we have the historic unification fight between Crawford and Indongo, Julius Indongo. Man, I guess the only one we really need to break down is this unification bout for the undisputed champion at 140, Terence Crawford against Julius Indongo. Quick predictions. I'm going to go ahead and start off with Big Cool on this one, how you see it playing out. Right now, I know Terence Crawford is the heavy favorite, and, according to Vegas odds. But, what I'm saying, I don't know if there's any wild cards y'all see being in this fight. So let me get y'all's take on it, starting with Big Cool.
I mean, it could be an ugly fight depending on, because Terence Crawford fights out of the southpaw, and fucking Indongo lunges fucking with his head and everything else, so that could play in his favor if he could, accidental head clash, open up, Bud. But other than that, man, he got the reach advantage and the height advantage, but, man, he too wild. He kind of too predictable. He telegraphs his shots, and I just think that Bud is getting better and better, man. He's a dog in there, can fight out of either stance, got good power. Phenomenal boxer, man. I think that he's gonna do it. He's in front of his home crowd. I think he's gonna make history, unify the whole division, move up to 147, and continue on. It's so far a great career, man. I think he wins a unanimous decision in a not a total dominant fight, but a clear victory for him, an impressive one.
B-Dub, man. See how you see this one playing out. I know you usually like to be the one that goes against the odds. So I don't know. I want to see what you thought about this one, man.
Oh, man, you know what? I really didn't. I'm not going against the odds on this one.
Smart man.
But damn, this is. See, I'm trying to pull up the Victor Postal, and the reason why I was gonna pull up Victor Postal's, I wanted to see his height.
They definitely measure similarly.
Yeah. And if I'm correct, I think Indongo may be an inch shorter, and his reach may be an inch shorter and height maybe an inch shorter than Postal. Here's the intriguing part about this matchup I'm looking forward to. When Crawford fought Postal, within 20 seconds of the first round, he went into the southpaw stance, which helped him clearly outbox and outclass Victor Postal. We saw how he fought Felix Diaz. He fought him in the southpaw stance. The question I'm looking for, I want to see is Terence going to fight him orthodox or southpaw? Because I mean, it really doesn't matter. But where would the advantage be for him in other order to get the victory?
For Crawford, it would be advantageous for him to fight probably as a southpaw in this one because Indongo is a southpaw. So him fighting in an orthodox stance against a lefty, I don't think it would be necessary. We could see some similar shit to Gamboa, you know what I'm saying, that early on. And, you know, with this guy, he's actually a lankier and bigger guy that has output. You know, we've seen he will put his output out there. Yeah, in Ricky Burns, you know, he'll throw that shit out.
Yeah, but that's Ricky Burns. But this is Crawford. That's what I'm saying. If he was a fighter from the orthodox, fight him on the inside, go on the inside, land his punches in a combination form, come out and move. Mayweather asks his people had an issue with him doing that with Postal, but he does it in the orthodox stance. I got him from the orthodox stance, unanimous decision.
All right, I'll go ahead and pass it to the 2K so he can do his breakdown analysis. I mean, it's still little out there on Indongo. I mean, we've only known him for Tryanovsky and you know, the Ricky Burns fight. There was little footage out there on him, you know, prior to then. I mean, so perhaps 2K may be able to touch on something we not seeing in this fight. Oh, we'll let him give it to him, man. Go ahead.
Well, two things I want to touch. Number one, you know, Bernard has come a long way, man. Kudos to him, you know what I'm saying? When we first started this podcast, this nigga couldn't break down a goddamn motherfucking piece of nigga couldn't break down a piece of candy if he was sucking on that motherfucker, right? But now he's actually taking one of my major points. He's absolutely correct in looking at the Victor Postal fight because Terence Crawford has already seen this type of fighter. And actually he's already beaten a fighter who's more polished than this type of fighter. Victor Postal is much more of a polished boxer who's got the basics down a lot better than Julius Indongo. Now, second point I want to touch. Congratulations to Julius Indongo, man. You know, in a 6-month span, he came out of nowhere, defeated a guy that motherfuckers erroneous. What's that fucking word? What's that word?
Erroneous.
Yeah, I can't say that word, but fuck it. Ignorantly said that Crawford is ducking. Yeah, word up. Word up. Crawford is ducking.
Tommy Smalls with the laugh again, man.
And fucking Julius Indongo goes there and knocks him out in the first round. Then he beats Ricky Burns, who, you know, we've all gave our assessment on Ricky Burns already in this podcast. But he beats him in very dominating fashion. And this was at a time nobody really knew who Indongo was. So congratulations to Julius Indongo for getting himself where he's going to be for August 19th. But that's where the buck stops, fam. Terence Crawford is that next dude. I'm telling y'all niggas that now. I've been saying it. You know what I'm saying? Andre Ward is damn near getting ready to retire. When Andre Ward retires, the next dude is not going to be Vasil Lomachenko no matter how much HBO and Top Rank try to push him. The next motherfucker is Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He's too smart. He brings too much of a dynamic into the ring. Nigga can fight you on the outside, fight you on the inside. Nigga can move like a pure boxer. You know what I'm saying? Nigga is economical with his punches, has very good punch placement, has excellent pacing. IQ is upper echelon. Oh, did I mention the nigga can switch to southpaw and do the same shit to you that he did in the orthodox position? You know what I'm saying? In a similar fashion. I make this comment every time Terence Crawford's about to fight somebody. When you're getting ready to fight a guy like Crawford, your training camp, you have to fucking train as if you're fighting for two people, one orthodox, one southpaw. That makes it very difficult. Makes it very difficult to stay focused on a game plan, right? And to be able to say, hey, all right, this is what I'm going to do when I get in the ring. No. It's this is what I'm going to do, and if that fails, then I got to do this. But if a piece of that fails, then I got to go back and do that. That's what happens to your game plan when you're fighting a guy like Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Julius Indongo, somebody mentioned earlier, too wild. Takes this nigga 15 minutes to complete a hook. I'm sorry, bro. Terence Crawford's going to hit this nigga about 7 times within that 15-minute window. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, the hook that he tries to complete, Terence Crawford is going to be on the other side of the ring by the time that shit even gets close to completion. You know what I'm saying? He has a good jab, but it's not an excellent jab. I like Victor Postal's jab better than Julius Indongo's, and we've seen what happened there. Normally, Indongo being a southpaw could be problems for an orthodox fighter, but as Twine just said earlier, Terence Crawford could switch to southpaw, and that's actually what he could do to negate that. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing on paper. There's nothing in film that I'm looking at that tells me Julius Indongo has a shot at beating the much more gifted Terence Crawford. So much so that I got Crawford by knockout in the 5th round.
Damn.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
sir.
I want to give y'all a little statistics so y'all understand. Ndongo's height is 5 feet 10.5 inches, 179 centimeters. His reach is 71.5 inches on 181 centimeters. Now let's go to Postal. Postal's 5'11", 180 centimeters. His reach was 73.5 inches, 187 centimeters. So he's not that far off. Pretty much, like I said, I got Crawford, but I would definitely like to see which dance he's going to fight a man.
All right. So I guess I'll go ahead and throw my thoughts on it, man. I mean, I've had to learn the hard way. I mean, I was I was one of those guys that was a slow comer on as far as the believing in Crawford. But I pretty much learned not to fucking bet against him. I'm not going to do it. I actually was one of the guys that thought Postal would beat Terence Crawford. And, you know, then you see the game plan and you're like, what the fuck? You tall motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But I actually see this fight playing out like the Thomas DeLorme fight. That's the most recent one I think we could compare this one to. Because, you know, DeLorme had actually early success against Crawford as far as using his lanky, his longer reach, you know, at the time. So, I mean, but Terence Crawford was eventually able to get inside and displayed a different style, you know, like we seen him against Uriovus Gamboa, where he was the hunter as opposed to being the boxer, you know. So I actually see this fight playing out like that, which is I thought I would be the style that Terence Crawford would be to beat Victor Postal. Obviously, he was able to outbox him and suckered Postal into playing his cat and mouse game, which was completely fucked up. I never think a taller fighter should give up his advantages or be the guy chasing a smaller guy. I think you need to make that guy come inside and get to you. And if it's just that much of a stinker, then that's just what it is. But, you know, Postal did something in that fight. You know, he's a guy that lets fights come to him. He's always been that way. Like, he's not ever been an aggressor. Now, Indongo, on the other hand, he's the guy that he can be. You know, we've seen it against Ricky Burns to where, you know, he'll put the output out there, not necessarily saying it's the smartest or most effective, but he stayed busy in that fight. It's only a matter of time before Crawford dissects that shit, gets inside, and knocks his ass out. So I kind of agree with TK on that, and like I said, which was why I went with this fight turning out to be similar to the Thomas DeLorme fight, because Thomas DeLorme was also a pretty rangy fighter as well. That was able to use his jab early on and keep Terence at bay until Crawford, you know, was able to slip and do his thing and get him out of there. So I think this fight is going to play like that. I'm not going to go against Crawford again until he goes against Harold Spence. That's the only person I'm picking against him.
Even then, Even then.
I know, but y'all know I'm just that fucking sold on Spence more than anybody I fucking watched, and I don't know how long. I haven't been that strong, felt that adamantly about any fighter in a long time. Like, even with Terence Crawford, I'm starting to get that way with him. It took me a long time to get to that level with him.
That's just because he's similar. That's just because he's similar to your favorite fighter. That's why. You see your favorite fighter in Errol Spence. That's why. Shit, Derek James even said it himself. He even said
Very
it himself.
True.
So that's probably why. But if Terence Crawford can take a shot, if his chin holds up at 147, nah. He about to take that.
Which is something that's been questioned by other people inside of boxing if you can. But like I said, I'm not going to knock it until it happens. I can't even say it. We've seen him buzz, but it ain't nothing to where he's been out of it. So I can't be like he ain't got no chin. So definitely got Bud winning by, I'll probably go around 5 or 6, overwhelming him. I think Indongo makes it interesting the first couple of rounds, just using his jab before Crawford fills it out and makes his adjustments. So don't look at it as just being a whitewash. It's just calculating. So anything, that's what it is. With that said, we'll go ahead and go into I guess our you segment for the week. Pretty interesting when I came across. I wanted to talk about 1989 IBF Middleweight Championship in Las Vegas. Well, actually in Reno. Michael Nunn retained his title against Iran Barkley. I like both of the fighters. Michael Nunn had a good career. Of course, he's had some problems since then. Iran Barkley as well, but both two highly entertaining fighters, during that era, great era of middleweights, So probably the beginning of the end of that division as far as it being heavily talented. That was a time around, JT and Roy Jones came in, but, like I said, they went up to 168, and, that's when a lot of the stuff pretty much went by in 160, and it's kind of been that way for the most part since. We've had little times where there's been some activity, Jermaine Taylor and B-Hop, but, shout out to both of those guys, Michael Nunn and Iran Barkley, who I think should be in the Hall of Fame and is not in there yet. So, we'll go ahead and go into the final blow, which belongs to 2K this week, if I'm not mistaken.
Word up. Man, I just want to say, my man James Toney beat the shit out of Michael Nunn to capture that same IBF title. He went on to lose to Roy Jones Jr. But we're gonna talk about the importance of Undisputed. And I've done it before, but I think it's fitting to do it now because it's the weekend before the most important fight of this year. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats, they don't understand the importance of being an undisputed champion. I've even had a cat, and I'm not knocking him or anything. It was a good question. He didn't understand, so he asked me. I had a cat say, what's so important about Undisputed? I mean, is it just, for an accolade to add to your career achievements, or is it, something where you end up getting more endorsements, basically more money? I said, the endorsement thing can happen, but the most important thing is you are forever added to the boxing history books, no matter what type of fighter you were, right? You could have been an Emmanuel Augustus type of nigga, Darnell Boone, 26-27, record. But if you were able to get the shot of a lifetime, like Julius and Indongo is able to, right, in this fight on August 19th, and you just so happen to beat the right guys, like Jim Braddock did, a.k.a. the Cinderella Man. Now, at that time, there was only one title. Max Baer, of course, was the heavyweight champion. And then, of course, you had this recognized title. It was like the NYSAC newspaper title or whatever, which really didn't mean shit, but it was kind of 2 titles, but if you get that NBA title, which is now the WBA at that time, you're the only champion. And James Braddock was able to be the only heavyweight champion at that time, and he's a guy that, had a Emmanuel Augustus type of record. He had the right string of wins. You can end up doing that, fuck around and beat guys that have titles, fuck around and become undisputed, and your name is in the history books, no matter how your careers went, right? That's the most important thing. Being an undisputed champion means you are the champion of the division. There's the lineal champ, there's the undisputed champ. A lot of people get that mixed up. Lineal champ just means you beat the man that beat the man that beat the man. I can keep fucking going, etc. Right? But it doesn't necessarily mean you cleaned out a division. It just means that there was a guy who was on top, and you beat that guy that was on top. So you're now the lineal champion, right? Undisputed means you literally beat champions, captured all the belts, and have become the only fucking champion. Now, if anybody else wants to be a champion, they got to go through you. That's undisputed. That is the most prestigious award or accolade for a fighter to achieve, short of being in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion, to be the true champion. It's even better than being a fucking 8-time champion in 17 weight classes. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all that. It's easy to move up, like what Badou Jack's getting ready to do. Beat shit out of a bum-ass nigga that shouldn't have a title in Nathan Cleverly. Now you're a 2-time champion in 2 weight classes. Roman Martinez did it. A straight-up B-minus level fighter. And I broke his career down in my video with Vasily Lomachenko and Noye. You know what I'm saying? He's a guy that slipped through the cracks, ended up being a 3-time WBO champion at 130. Clearly is a B-minus level fighter. Nate Campbell's a guy that had multiple titles. While I respect Nate Campbell, he definitely was not one of the best fighters in the lightweight division. Whenever he stepped up, besides Juan Diaz, he got his ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? So being a 2-time champion in 15,000 weight classes means shit. But being the true champion is where it counts. Now, there's one thing I want to address. And I'm gonna do a video on this on my independent channel. Floyd Mayweather seems to believe that he was undisputed.
Yeah,
now,
right.
Yeah, exactly. Now, you gullible motherfuckers out there, bro. Shout out to Fight Hype for literally drinking to come out this nigga's nuts at his fucking mansion. You know what I'm saying? Floyd was like, yeah, these are my belts. The nigga was literally, whoever's behind the camera, he's moaning like he's having an orgasm, fam. Oh, ooh, shit. Ooh, ooh, this is incredible. Are you fucking kidding me? So in the midst of this nigga having an orgasm, Floyd Mayweather throws shade at Terence Crawford and his ability to possibly become undisputed by basically saying, hey, nigga, I've already been undisputed, and tried to lie and say, you only need to hold 3 of the 4 major titles to be undisputed. While he's correct, prior to 2007, that rule was abandoned 10 fucking years ago. And 10 years ago, Floyd never held 3 of the 4 major sanctioning bodies in one motherfucking division. Nope, never did it. Right?
Or did he ever? That's another one I wanted to ask.
He never
I don't know if he ever did.
He never did. I'm telling you now. I already did the research. Floyd Mayweather has never held 3 of the 4 major sanctioning bodies in one division prior, listen to this, prior to 2007. Because after 2007, it became the rules for undisputed that the WBO title will be included. And now you have to have all 4 to be considered an undisputed champion. Floyd may have held, now I didn't look after 2007 because it didn't matter anymore. We all know Floyd never held all 4. He had the opportunity to do it after he beat Manny Pacquiao by fighting Kell Brook, but he fucking retired, right? So we all know after 2007, Floyd never held all 4 in any division. So he was never undisputed. And he tried to lie and say, you only need 3. And the fight hype dude, having a fucking orgasm, didn't even call him out on the shit. So one of the Fuckery of the Day awards should have went to Floyd Mayweather for that bullshit too.
If I would have thought that, I would have gave it to him. But I want to correct you on a few things. You're gonna call him saying he retired because he fought Andre Berto after he fought Manny Pacquiao. Okay, he won the WBO belt. Yes, he should have won and went after Kell Brook. I said that too. But the problem is he got stripped of the belt because he held.
He didn't pay the.
No, because he held the 154-pound belt of the WBC and the WBA belt. Therefore, according to the WBO rules, you cannot hold any other belt in another division. They immediately stripped him.
That's not why it happened.
No. The WBO rules are you can't hold their belt in 2 divisions. That's what happened to Chris Algieri when he moved up from 140 to 147 to fight Manny Pacquiao. He was
Look it up, bro. I know about that one.
That's fine, but that's fine. I'll look that up later. But this is what it really is. He was the 140-pound WBO champion. They made him vacate in order to fight Manny Pacquiao for the 147 WBO title. They did the same thing to Timothy Bradley. So that's really what it's supposed to be now. What you're saying could be true. I'm not looking at it, right? But the WBO is really supposed to only be stripping niggas who have their belt in 2 different divisions. Actually, they don't even allow it to happen. The only time they allowed it was for the great Vasyl Lomachenko. He went from 126 to 130, still holding the WBO title, and then got it off of Roman Martinez, and he still had it. You know what I'm saying? That's the only time they allowed it. But regardless, Floyd, if he really wanted to be undisputed, the nigga could have easily paid whatever sanctioning fees he needed to pay and then fight Kell Brook to become undisputed. Him being stripped is not the fucking problem. He could have easily gotten around that. The problem is he didn't want to do that, right? So he made the choice to not fight Kell Brook. He fought, I'm not even going to mention who he fought after that. He fucking retired. Fuck Andre Berto. He retired, you know what I'm saying? And then he didn't fight Kell Brook. So it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? And then to come back now and say, yeah, nigga, I was undisputed, you know what I'm saying? That's not like a nigga lying on his dick. Yeah, nigga, I fucked Holly Berry back in 1992, nigga. A lot of niggas don't know that, but I did. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Niggas, you ain't saying that shit's not going by niggas like me, dog. That's been around boxing for too fucking long. You know what I mean? So, last point I want to make, and then I'm gonna end it. A lot of cats get it misconstrued, undisputed. Who the last undisputed champion was? The last undisputed champion, I'll make a video on this as well. The last undisputed champion was O'Neal Bell. Rest in peace to him. He was shot and killed, I think, in 2012, right? A lot of cats are out there pushing, Terence Crawford has the opportunity to become the last undisputed champion since Jermaine Taylor. And it's incorrect because Jermaine Taylor became undisputed in 2005. O'Neal Bell became undisputed in 2006 when he knocked out Jean-Marc Mormick, right? The only problem is the IBF, just like what they did with Tyson Fury, they stripped him in March of that year, which was like a couple months. It was like 2 months after the Mormick fight, I believe. They stripped him in March, so he was no longer the undisputed champion. They stripped him because he was supposed to fight Velarzik. Yeah, the old motherfucker that's in the World Boxing Series for the cruiserweights. He was supposed to fight Velarzik. He didn't want to fight him. He wanted the rematch with Jean-Marc Mormick, so the IBF stripped him. Meanwhile, Jermaine Taylor was still the undisputed champion all the way into, I believe, November, December of that year, where he ended up getting beat by Kelly Pavlik. So while he lasted longer than O'Neal Bell goes down in the history books as the last undisputed men's boxing champion. Also, Terence Crawford will become, possibly if he beats Julius Indongo, he will become the next undisputed champion at 140 since Costa Tszyu, when Costa Tszyu beat Zab Judah in 2001. So a couple of things I want to clear up there. A lot of respectable YouTube channels are pushing the wrong information. And, like we do on the movement, man, we give y'all real breakdowns, analysis, real news, and, everything we pretty much say, besides the opinionated shit and the fuckery, it's all facts. And we're going to keep y'all, up to date on real factual shit, throughout boxing history and what's going on today. So it is what it is, man. Congratulations to these two fellas for being able to have this opportunity to become undisputed, bringing more prestige back to male boxing, because the women then kicked our ass. Even though they don't get the exposure, they didn't kick our ass in terms of bringing prestige to their sport. So it is what it is, man. Congratulations. Can't wait.
All right. I actually did an article about this earlier that should be getting put out on the Hoop Jab within the next hour or so, I'm guessing, talking about the importance of this fight, and as far as the magnitude of being for an undisputed title, which we haven't seen all four belts with one fighter since what Jermaine Taylor as 2K alluded to. So I want to say shout out, really, I want to give two shout outs on this one, man. The IBF, man, because they were really close to pulling the dickhead move on this one.
Yeah.
And a move that would have been detrimental to boxing, man. I think they kind of pulled their head out of their ass and saved face, man. So I want to say shout out for them allowing this fight to happen. It was well needed. I'm going to give out a shout-out to both of the fighters as well, man. Like 2K saying, this puts them in the history books, automatically. It seals their fate. For Crawford, it's something that might even put him in the Hall of Fame already.
Yes,
and
sir.
He's barely entering his prime. Barely.
Yes, sir.
If you look at it, Julius Indongo, this puts him in the fucking, talks of fucking Dick Tiger and Azuma Nelson if he does this in
Yes,
Africa.
sir.
So, I mean, this is the importance of being an undisputed champion and why we need to see more of these fights. Unification bouts 2017 has been the year of the unification bout, and I love it. Let these organizations keep being cooperative and working with each other. You know what I'm saying? Fuck these goddamn weak-ass mandatory orders. If this motherfucker got 12 fights and nobody known, fuck him.
Sergey Limpnut.
Yeah, I mean, cut the shit out, man. Do what's good for the sport. Ultimately, that's what they're supposed to be doing, that they're looking at being at their stakeholders, too, for money. You know what I'm saying? The biggest fight out there is what matters, not these little-ass mandatory defenses. So, I mean, I just want to give out a shout-out, you know what I'm saying, just to piggyback off of what 2K put out there for the final blow. With that said, man, we going to let everybody give out their handles before we get up out of here. They're cool. Where can I see you at?
YouTube, Colossal Boxing Talk CBT. Twitter, Colossal CBT. Facebook, Colossal Boxing Talk. Eastwick, the movement, talking boxing and bullshit, championship rounds, diehard boxing, all that.
All right. Bernard?
You can find me on Instagram at The Movement BP. You can find me on Twitter at The Movement Boxing, capital D, capital M, capital B. You can find me in the Facebook groups that Big Cool just mentioned. Also on Truth and Facts About Boxing. You can follow Bo on the Truth_Fact_Box1 on Twitter as well as Instagram. We're all in the groups. Also follow the Movement Facebook group page as well.
All right, I can't find Bo no more. That nigga in Guantanamo Bay, deported.
That nigga in the UK. That nigga in England, based on all his interviews.
Sipping tea and crumpets. I know he already can speak that Spanish shit. Just wait till he come back with a UK accent. Nigga.
That nigga that's a fool.
That nigga be having. I'm like, who the fuck is this nigga? You know what I'm saying? Nigga, yeah, we got interview with Magic Smith. Nigga, who the fuck is Magic Smith? Nigga, get this nigga off the goddamn camera.
Hey, when he gets them interviewed, though, he'll interview anybody from the UK.
Yeah, I'm about to do the same thing. I'm about to go get a nigga off the street and tell him this nigga's a motherfucking Olympic gold medalist nigga from Dominican Republic. That's the fuck I'm going to do next. I'm going to start getting niggas off the street. Y'all not even going to know. Fuck out of here, nigga.
Man. On that note, man, I'm Twine the Divine Liberty. You can find me as B Liberty on Facebook just because they be fucking cock blocking on names and shit like that. Like the fella said, you can catch me in all the active boxing groups. I try to stick away from the casual shit these days. I ain't got the time for it, man. I can't be arguing motherfuckers all day no more. I just ain't got it in me. The weed don't work the same way it used to. I just don't have the patience. But yeah, talking boxing and bullshit, the movement. We live, eat, sleep boxing. Shout out to Willie the Kid and Eastwood Boxing, Chris Henderson, Four Corners Boxing Talk. Catch me on hoopjab.com, man. Other than that, man, catch me on here with these goofballs weekly. And until next week, man, we'll catch you.